And polling has now closed in Himachal Pradesh, where the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress are locked in an aggressive direct fight. The state recorded a voter turnout of around 65%. That was at 5 p.m. when the booths closed, where polling wound up. This is slightly lower than it was the last time round. I think it was in the 70s. Then now the question, of course, is will the BJP succumb to the Himalayan states' rivaj or tradition of changing the government, of ruling against the incumbent? The ruling BJP this time round has been fighting on the Prime Minister's face. Their pitch has been that continuity is key to development. Their argument has been that actually it's the double engine, where you have the same party government in the state and at the center, and that it's only this double engine that will ensure that work isn't hindered. It, of course, uses the example, it cites the example of the other Himalayan state, that's Uttarakhand, as an example of defeating this change every election trend. It's a trend that we've seen in Himachal Pradesh, that every election they vote out the incumbent and vote for change. And that, of course, is what the Congress is hoping for. And the Congress says this election is not about the Prime Minister or about national issues. It is about local issues. And they wish that the voters go by a 4-decade tradition that we've seen in the state, where the state has every time without fail voted out the incumbents. So you have a confident BJP on one hand, which hit speed breakers with multiple rebellions. Well, on the other hand, the Congress, not without its problems. They face the problem of multiple chief ministerial faces and their respective lobby of supporters. And there's that leadership crisis ever since we saw the death of the veteran Veerbhadra Singh. But the party, of course, claiming that it will sail back to power because its seat-wide ticket allocation has been better than before. Of course, we have party leaders on both sides, both all claiming that they are going to come back to power, that they have the upper hand, and there'll be winds of change for the Congress. Let's go across to Vedant, who's joining us. So, Vedant, in the end, you have the BJP, basically to sum it up, the BJP hoping for a historic second term and the Congress hoping to make a comeback.
Well, that's right. As you rightly mentioned, the BJP, of course, has been saying that Rivaz badlega, the tradition will be changed, and the Congress saying that the Raj or the incumbent government will in fact be thrown out. So just to sum it up very quickly, the BJP's key political plank has been the double-engine sarkar. We saw heavy weights on the campaign trail. In fact, the polls, in fact, are a culmination of a high-voltage, high-stakes campaign here in the Hill State. Remember, the BJP announced various poll promises, including freebies, something that we saw the BJP walking a tightrope on. The BJP has been slamming other parties for the freebie culture, but here we saw the BJP in fact announced cycles and scooties for school-going, college-going girls, also 25,000 rupees for pregnant women. Apart from that, the BJP also harped on various national issues. The BJP talked about national security, it talked about its Ram Mandir agenda, it talked about the Uniform Civil Code, very critical announcement by the BJP here. So a spectacle of what we would be seeing, in the run-up to 2024. The BJP linked, the high stakes here with the 2024 battle. Remember, the key challenge for the BJP was rebels fighting almost on 21 seats. Now that's huge, because we saw top leaders in fact convincing rebels to opt out of the fight. So the BJP's key challenge was the rebel factor. As far as the Congress is concerned, remember the Congress, the central leadership was virtually missing on the ground, on the campaign trail, and there are many CM hopefuls. So of course, Pratibha Singh is seen as a front runner, wife of late Veerbhadra Singh, the tall Congress leader of Himachal. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, remember the Aam Aadmi Party really failed to make a mark as far as the voters are concerned, because they feel that Arvind Kejriwal is, an outsider, as they call him, trying to, make inroads into Himachal. But remember, as you rightly mentioned, the battle is between national issues, as the BJP is, centering this election around, and local issues. And the Congress says that, it is the only real champion of local issues as far as unemployment is concerned. The old pension scheme, very, the critical issue as far as Himachal Pradesh elections are concerned, because a huge chunk of the electorate is in fact government employees and their families. So the old pension scheme is a very important issue. The Congress says that it will restore the old pension scheme. The BJP today, and Anurag Thakur, in a conversation with NDTV today, in fact said that the Congress was responsible for ruling out the old pension scheme and bringing the new pension scheme. So that is of course a key poll issue. Other than that, what the voters have been telling us, Sarah, is that unemployment, which has really plagued the hill state. Remember, unemployment rates are as high as 9%, much higher than what the national average is. So unemployment is a major issue. The outrage against the Agnipath scheme is a major issue. The old pension scheme, as I said, is a major issue. The farming sector, as far as the farming sector, which is also a huge employer in the state, that is also having to deal with its own issues, because apple farmers here, of course, battling high GST, also demanding MSP and subsidies on fertilizers, pesticides. The BJP has promised that it will bring down the GST from 18% to 12%. So these are the various issues that the voters, it's very intelligent electorate, aware of its issues. So let's see, it's a high stakes battle. It's a prestige battle for JP Nadda. It's his home state. Also Jairam Thakur. For the Congress, it's crucial to in fact win the Himachal polls, to prove that that tradition of voting out or unseating the incumbent will continue.
So can the Congress put the winds back into its sails? Will the winds of change blow across Himachal Pradesh? Well, the suspense will be over on the 8th. Thanks for that, Vedant. Meanwhile, it is election season. Prime Minister Modi has hit the ground running. He's been in Telangana today. He had hit out at the Chief Minister, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, and the ruling TRS against what he calls, and he slammed as family politics, nepotism, scams. Taking a dig, he said that many ask him how he doesn't get tired despite working very hard. Here's his response.
आज मैं तेलंगाना में भ्रष्टाचार और परिवाद के विरुद्ध जो जनाक्रोश है, जनता जनार्दन में जो गुस्सा है, नौजवानों में जो गुस्सा है, वो आज हिंदुस्तान देख रहा है। मोदी को गालियां देते रहते हैं, भांति भांति की गालियां देते हैं। सारी डिक्शनरी मोदी को गालियां देने के लिए उन्होंने खपा दी है। मेरी आपसे प्रार्थना है, ऐसी बातों से आप परेशान मत होना। उनके पास गालियों के सिवा देने के लिए बचा क्या है भाई? आप बिल्कुल परेशान मत हो जाइए। और मैं तो पिछले 20-22 साल से बड़ी वैरायटी की गालियां खा चुका हूं। मेहरबानी करके इससे जरा भी परेशान मत होइए। शाम को उन गालियों को, उस पर बड़ी हंसी मजाक कीजिए, बढ़िया चाय पीजिए, और दूसरे दिन सुबह कमल खिलने वाला है।
The Prime Minister is arriving, and the Chief Minister's office and others have complained that he has not been appropriately invited. The Chief Minister.
This is very unfortunate that the Chief Minister, like a child, makes such type of statement. It is a matter of pride for the people of Telangana, and it should be a matter of pride for the Honorable Chief Minister also, that Prime Minister is coming here to inaugurate some developmental projects. But he is trying to avoid. It is not the first time. If it is the first time, we can say this. There are several times he has been avoiding to meet Prime Minister. He is not even following the protocols, and he is not even attending the governor's 26th January at high tea party at governor's office. And he is purposefully making it a political issue by coming into confrontation with the Prime Minister. We have invited him through all proper channel. Our Minister of State, Mr. Bhagat Kuba, has personally invited him, has written letter to him because he is the concerned minister and he is also in charge for this particular project. So where did we go wrong? No. Even Jagan Mohan Reddy comes to our welcome and he joins with the Prime Minister to have central government projects inaugurated. Mr. Stalin, though we have a political differences, he comes to Prime Minister's programs. What prevents Chandrasekhar Rao? It is only the political jealousy and the growth of the BJP and the Modi's image that is developing in Telangana. For that reason, he is trying to avoid.
जब अंधेरा बहुत बढ़ जाता है, चारों तरफ घना अंधकारा हो जाता है, उसी परिस्थिति में कमल का खिलना शुरू हो जाता है और भोर से ठीक पहले, उजियारे से पहले आज तेलंगाना में भी ऐसे ही कमल खिलता नजर आ रहा है.
All right, and we had a meeting in Tamil Nadu where the DMK government has rejected the 10% EWS reservation cleared by the Supreme Court, saying that they will challenge the verdict legally. The Chief Minister slammed the quota as a joke, but there was an all-party meeting held on this today where the opposition, the AIADMK and the BJP boycotted the meet. We're going to go in for a short break, but we have more news from around the country coming up. Stay tuned.
आज ध्रुव के स्कूल से फोन आया.
That's on. Match off.
रुकावट के लिए खेद है.
Meeting on. A game off.
What's going on?
Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में, हर पल. पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
The show where the country speaks its mind.
This is a first step in the direction of giving women at least a fighting chance.
This is all wishful thinking. Today also you see 23% of our girls are married off before 18.
Your mirror to what India thinks.
Everybody had that second thought, how could you be in fashion because you don't look like a person in fashion? And that for me needed to change.
We the People with me, Sarah Jacob, only on NDTV. If you care about it, we'll talk about it.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies.
Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it.
News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
You're watching Truth versus Hype. We are on the road with Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra as it enters Maharashtra to examine whether the hype that this is indeed a resurrection of Rahul Gandhi and a revival of India's beleaguered lead opposition party is real or hype. And also to go behind the scenes to understand the mechanics of staging this massive journey, from the crowds that are lining the sides of the road to the viral images from on the ground and in the air that are flooding social media. Bharat Jodo, the anatomy of a yatra.
Welcome back. Now the West Bengal Minister Akhil Giri has drawn widespread criticism, including from his own party, the Trinamool Congress, for making controversial, obnoxious remarks, really, an obnoxious remark about the appearance of India's President, Draupadi Murmu. Now, after the video clip of his comments went viral, Mr. Giri apologized for making such a remark, but the party has distanced itself from Mr. Giri's remarks. They've called it irresponsible. They've said that this is, and I'm quoting here, this is an irresponsible comment. It does not represent the views of the Trinamool Congress. We are extremely proud of the President of India. We hold her and her office in the highest regard, is the statement put out by the TMC. But the BJP is drawing up a sharp response, so much so that the IT cell's chief, that is the BJP's Amit Malviya, has tweeted in response, equally obnoxious, that raising questions about the looks of the chief minister, the chief of the Trinamool Congress.
और इस तरह का बयान देकर के उन्होंने अपने चरित्र का परिचय दिया है कि किस तरीके से वो सोचते हैं और किस तरीके से करते हैं और किस तरीके से आदिवासियों को इस देश में टीएमसी देखती है।
পশ্চিমবঙ্গের বিজেপি নেতা বিধানসভার বিরোধী দলনেতা শুভেন্দু অধিকারী আমার সম্পর্কে গত কয়েক মাস আগে থেকে যে কুরুচিপূর্ণ মন্তব্য করছেন বিভিন্ন জনসভায়, কখনো আমাকে কাকের মতো দেখতে বলছেন, কখনো হাফপেন মন্ত্রী বলছেন, সেই উক্তি শুনে বারে বারে আমি একজন বয়স্ক মানুষ, আমার মনের মধ্যে একটা ক্রোধ জন্মেছিল। আজকের গোকুলনগর নন্দীগ্রামের একটি প্রতিবাদ সভায় আমি সেই মন্তব্যের বিরোধিতা করতে গিয়ে আমি কোনো রাষ্ট্রপতিকে অসম্মান করতে চাইনি। আমি কোনো রাষ্ট্রপতির প্রতি আমার অগাধ আস্থা আছে, মহোদয়ার প্রতি, কিন্তু আমি রাষ্ট্রপতিকে কোনো অসম্মান করতে চাইনি। আমি শুভেন্দু অধিকারীকে কটাক্ষ করেই আমি বলেছি যে আমি আমার ক্রোধের ফলে মুখ ফুঁসে আমি কিছু মন্তব্য করে ফেলেছি, তার জন্য এটা আমি আমার ক্রোধের বশে আমি এই মন্তব্য করে ফেলেছি।
And the superstar actor Shah Rukh Khan was stopped at the Mumbai airport by customs. He, according to sources, was arriving from Sharjah in a private chartered plane. He was stopped at Terminal 3 because when his luggage was checked, he had expensive watches for which he had to pay a custom duty of about 6 lakh rupees, after which he was allowed to leave.
जब वो शारजाह से लौट रहे थे चार्टर्ड प्लेन से, प्राइवेट प्लेन से निकलने के बाद, चूंकि ग्रीन चैनल से आके वहाँ पे गेट नंबर 8 जो है कलीना के पास, वहाँ से अमूमन प्राइवेट चार्टर प्लेन से जो लाते निकलते हैं, तो वहाँ पर जब उनका चेकिंग किया गया तब उसमें महंगी घड़ियों के 6 बॉक्स मिले, जिनकी कस्टम ड्यूटी बनती थी तकरीबन 18 लाख के करीब। तो वहाँ पर उन्हें रोका गया और फिर जब उनके बॉडीगार्ड ने आकर लगभग 6,83,000 यानी 6.83 लाख का जब कस्टम ड्यूटी उन्होंने भरा, उसके बाद फिर शाहरुख खान को वहां से जाने दिया गया। ये अब तक की जानकारी मिली है।
And finally, in Gujarat, at least, it may be fierce rivalry amidst the election heat, but here's one viral video that shows great sporting spirit between rivals. Here, what you're looking at on your screens is a BJP campaign vehicle stuck in the sand. And guess who it's pulled out? Or guess who helps them pull themselves out of this? Well, none other than the Congress party's campaign vehicle. The drivers, indifferent to party politics, showing the way. That's the news at this hour. Bye-bye.
On. Match off.
रुकावट के लिए खेद है.
Meeting on. A game of.
What's going on?
Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में हर पल. पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
Legacy is often seen as a burden of expectations. It comes with its own set of challenges. The challenge to take it forward, challenge to reimagine, challenge to be in the present, and also challenge to think about the future.
What accountability are you talking about?
As long as the core values and principles remain uncompromised. Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 22 years old, but it is young at 22.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
सच दिखाते हैं ताकि दुनिया के बाजार में आजादी सस्ती न बिक जाए. कुर्सी पे बैठने वालों को जमीन की अहमियत याद रहे. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि पैसे की चमक से कभी हुनर ना पड़े फीका. खुदगर्जी खोखला न बना दे सोचने का तरीका. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि अच्छे विचार और आदर्श बस किताबी बातें ना रह जाएं.
चुनौतियां काफी ज्यादा हैं, बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं.
एक बेहतर कल चाहते हैं हम, इसलिए सच दिखाते हैं हम. NDTV इंडिया, जुबान पे सच, दिल में इंडिया.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient from thousands of miles away. None of this was possible
till technology stepped in and made it possible. A selection of the finest stories from across the country where technology comes with a human touch.
Unleash your dreams with Snapdragon in collaboration with NDTV, only on the NDTV network.
They say the zero is nothing unless it connects the dots and the real story emerges.
Rajiv Gandhi assassination convict Nalini Sriharan released from jail. The development comes a day after the Supreme Court's ruling. She walks out of jail after 31 years. Polling winds up for the high-stakes battle in Himachal Pradesh. The BJP eyes a historic second consecutive term, banking on Prime Minister Modi, insisting that continuity is key to development. The Congress says the election is on local issues. The Prime Minister in Telangana hits out at the ruling TRS, and the Chief Minister says the people of the state are angry with family politics and nepotism and scams. The Chief Minister skips receiving the Prime Minister yet again. In an all-party meeting chaired by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, the ruling DMK rejects the 10% EWS reservations cleared by the Supreme Court, says they will challenge the verdict legally. MK Stalin slams the quota as a joke. The AIA, DMK and the BJP boycott the meet. The Trinamool distances itself from the TMC minister's shocking comments on the appearance of the President of India. The BJP calls for statewide protests. And Sachin Tendulkar has his say on India's heartbreaking loss. Let's not judge Team India only by this performance. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. The big story at this hour. A day after 6 convicts in the assassination case of the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi were freed by the Supreme Court after 31 years in jail, 3 of the accused, Nalini Sriharan, her husband Murugan and Santan, were released just about a little over an hour and a half ago on Saturday evening after a brief visit to the Vellore jail to complete formalities. Nalini had earlier this morning visited a local police station to mark her presence, all of this part of parole conditions. In May, the Supreme Court had used its extraordinary powers to free a 7th convict, Periyavalan, and the same order applied to the rest of the convicts, the court said.
மறக்காம இருந்த தமிழ் உள்ளங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நன்றிங்கிறது ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் எங்களுக்காக உதவி செஞ்ச எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட நன்றியை நான் தெரிவிச்சுக்கிறேன். மத்திய அரசு மாநில அரசு இருவருக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். பொது வாழ்க்கைக்கு வர விரும்பல. நான் வந்து ஒரு குடும்ப தலைவியா தான் இருக்க போறேன். என்னோட குடும்பம், என்னோட குழந்தை, என்னோட கணவர், இவ்வளவுதான் என்னோட வாழ்க்கை.
உங்க மகள் கிட்ட பேசுனீங்களா? உங்க மகள் என்ன சொல்லிருக்காங்க? இங்க வராங்களா இல்ல நீங்க அங்க போறீங்களா?
நாளைக்கு நீங்க எல்லாம் அங்க வந்துருங்கப்பா, நம்ம பேசுவோம். சென்னைக்கு கண்டிப்பா வாங்க எல்லாரும், எல்லாரோடையும் சந்திப்போம். நாளைக்கு வந்து பிரஸ் மீட் சென்னையில வச்சிருக்காங்க. நம்ம எல்லாரும் சந்திப்போம் திரும்ப. சரிங்களா? அவங்க சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்ல இருந்து லாயர்ஸ்லாம் வந்திருக்காங்க டெல்லியில இருந்து. அவங்க எல்லாரும் உங்களை எல்லாரையும் சந்திக்க விரும்புறாங்க. அவங்க கூட நீங்க எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நன்றி.
Initial reaction is each and every person of our family is very happy, and we were very delighted about that unexpected judgment. She is very happy. She is going to live with her family. What is your
are you planning to meet Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin anytime
to
soon?
thank him
Personally.
We will try to get his appointment. After that, definitely we will thank him.
And Sam Daniel joins us from Vellore. He was at the jail as Nalini walked out after 31 years. So what's next, Sam? What happens? I know there's a press conference being planned for tomorrow. What are you learning? Because in the same breath, we've had Nalini say she wants to be far from public life as possible.
That's right. She has ruled out that she would enter public life, Sarah. She says she would lead her life afresh. She would start her life afresh as a mother, as a family person, joining her daughter. In fact, she is in the UK. She got married recently, according to her lawyers. And in the case of the other 5 members, 4 of them are Sri Lankan nationals, and the police have taken them to a special camp in Trichy. The idea, the senior officials say, is to deport them ultimately. And in the case of one Indian citizen, Ravi Chandran, he would continue to be in India. He's again a free bird. All of them are technically free. They've been set free by the Supreme Court. But since 4 of them are Sri Lankan nationals, they would be moved to that special camp and then sent back to Sri Lanka. And it's a kind of an emotional moment for all of them. This brings their 31-year-long jail term to a close. And it has been an emotional issue in Tamil Nadu for almost a decade. Many in Tamil Nadu, including the political arch rivals, the ruling DMK and the AIADMK, have been championing this cause, asking for their release, saying that they have they have suffered enough punishment behind bars and they should be given a chance to reform and join the mainstream. But the opinion is quite divided. The Congress opposes the release, saying that while personally Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi and Priyanka may have allowed this, may have forgiven this, they as a party will not really agree with the Supreme Court decision, whereas many others feel that no matter the gravity of the crime they are involved in, they ought to be given a chance because they've spent 30 years. And it all began in 2001 when Sonia Gandhi's intervention led to the commutation of the death sentence of Nalini, and in 2014 the Supreme Court reduced the death sentence of all others, saying that the president had taken inordinate time to decide on their mercy pleas. Then in 2018, the then Chief Minister, EPS, had passed a cabinet resolution recommending the release. The governor did not immediately accept. He chose to wait a long time and then forward that to the president. And now it went to the court. It all began with the release of Perarivalan earlier this year, and that gave hope that all these members would get a chance for release, and that has happened now. Murugan, Nalini's husband, in fact, we are outside her house now. He could not join her because he's a Sri Lankan national. After release, Nalini went to the other part of the Vellore jail to receive her husband before he was taken to the camp in Mandapam.
Sam Daniel reporting there. Thank you. We'll, of course, be going across to Sam for all of the latest and, of course, that press conference that's going to take place tomorrow. Thanks for now, Sam. And polling has now closed in Himachal Pradesh, where the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress are locked in an aggressive direct fight. The state recorded a voter turnout of around 65%. That was at 5 p.m. when the booths closed, where polling wound up. This is slightly lower than it was the last time round. I think it was in the 70s. Then now the question, of course, is will the BJP succumb to the Himalayan states' rivaj or tradition of changing the government, of ruling against the incumbent? The ruling BJP this time round has been fighting on the Prime Minister's face. Their pitch has been that continuity is key to development. Their argument has been that actually it's the double engine, where you have the same party government in the state and at the center, and that it's only this double engine that will ensure that work isn't hindered. It, of course, uses the example, it cites the example of the other Himalayan state, that's Uttarakhand, as an example of defeating this change every election trend. It's a trend that we've seen in Himachal Pradesh, that every election they vote out the incumbent and vote for change. And that, of course, is what the Congress is hoping for. And the Congress says this election is not about the Prime Minister or about national issues. It is about local issues. And they wish that the voters go by a 4-decade tradition that we've seen in the state, where the state has every time without fail voted out the incumbent. So you have a confident BJP on one hand, which hit speed breakers with multiple rebellions. Well, on the other hand, the Congress, not without its problems, they face the problem of multiple chief ministerial faces and their respective lobby of supporters. And there's that leadership crisis ever since we saw the death of the veteran Veerbhadra Singh. But the party, of course, claiming that it will sail back to power because its seat-wide ticket allocation has been better than before. Of course, we have party leaders on both sides, both all claiming that they are going to come back to power, that they have the upper hand, and there'll be winds of change for the Congress. Let's go across to Vedant, who's joining us. So Vedant, in the end, you have the BJP, basically to sum it up, the BJP hoping for a historic second term and the Congress hoping to make a comeback.
Well, that's right. As you rightly mentioned, the BJP, of course, has been saying that Rivaz badlega, the tradition will be changed, and the Congress saying that the Raj or the incumbent government will in fact be thrown out. So just to sum it up very quickly, the BJP's key political plank has been the double-engine sarkar. We saw heavy weights on the campaign trail. In fact, the polls, in fact, are a culmination of a high-voltage, high-stakes campaign here in the Hill State. Remember, the BJP announced various poll promises, including freebies, something that we saw the BJP walking a tightrope on. The BJP has been slamming other parties for the freebie culture, but here we saw the BJP in fact announced cycles and scooties for school-going, college-going girls, also 25,000 rupees for pregnant women. Apart from that, the BJP also harped on various national issues. The BJP talked about national security, it talked about its Ram Mandir agenda, it talked about the Uniform Civil Code, very critical announcement by the BJP here. So something, a spectacle of what we would be seeing, in the run-up to 2024. The BJP linked, the high stakes here with the 2024 battle. Remember, the key challenge for the BJP was rebels fighting almost on 21 seats. Now that's huge, because we saw top leaders in fact convincing rebels to opt out of the fight. So the BJP's key challenge was the rebel factor. As far as the Congress is concerned, remember the Congress, the central leadership was virtually missing on the ground, on the campaign trail, and there are many CM hopefuls. So of course, Pratibha Singh is seen as a front runner, wife of late Veerbhadra Singh, the tall Congress leader of Himachal. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, remember the Aam Aadmi Party really failed to make a mark as far as the voters are concerned, because they feel that Arvind Kejriwal is, an outsider, as they call him, trying to, make inroads into Himachal. But remember, as you rightly mentioned, the battle is between national issues, as the BJP is, centering this election around, and local issues. And the Congress says that, it is the only real champion of local issues as far as unemployment is concerned. The old pension scheme, very critical issue as far as Himachal Pradesh elections are concerned, because a huge chunk chunk of the electorate is in fact government employees and their families. So the old pension scheme is a very important issue. The Congress says that it will restore the old pension scheme. The BJP today, and Anurag Thakur in a conversation with NDTV today in fact said that the Congress was responsible for ruling out the old pension scheme and bringing the new pension scheme. So that is of course a key poll issue. Other than that, what the voters have been telling us, Sarah, is that unemployment, which has really plagued the hill state. Remember, unemployment rates are as high as 9%, much higher than what the national average is. So unemployment is a major issue. The outrage against the Agnipath scheme is a major issue. The old pension scheme, as I said, is a major issue. The farming sector, as far as the farming sector, which is also a huge employer in the state, that is also having to deal with its own issues, because apple farmers here, of course, battling high GST, also demanding MSP and subsidies on fertilizers, pesticides. The BJP has promised that it will bring down the GST from 18% to 12%. So these are the various issues that the voters, it's very intelligent electorate, aware of its issues. So let's see, it's a high stakes battle. It's a prestige battle for JP Nadda. It's his home state. Also Jairam Thakur. For the Congress, it's crucial to in fact win the Himachal polls to prove that that tradition of voting out or unseating the incumbent will continue.
So can the Congress put the winds back into its sails? Will the winds of change blow across Himachal Pradesh? Well, the suspense will be over on the 8th. Thanks for that, Vedant. Meanwhile, it is election season. Prime Minister Modi has hit the ground running. He's been in Telangana today. He had hit out at the Chief Minister, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, and the ruling TRS against what he calls, and he slammed as family politics, nepotism, scams. Taking a dig, he said that many ask him how he doesn't get tired despite working very hard. Here's his response.
आज मैं तेलंगाना में भ्रष्टाचार और परिवाद के विरुद्ध जो जनाक्रोश है, जनता जनार्दन में जो गुस्सा है, नौजवानों में जो गुस्सा है, वो आज हिंदुस्तान देख रहा है। मोदी को गालियां देते रहते हैं, भांति भांति की गालियां देते हैं। सारी डिक्शनरी मोदी को गालियां देने के लिए उन्होंने खपा दी है। मेरी आपसे प्रार्थना है, ऐसी बातों से आप परेशान मत होना। उनके पास गालियों के सिवा देने के लिए बचा क्या है भाई? आप बिल्कुल परेशान मत हो जाइए। और मैं तो पिछले 20-22 साल से बड़ी वैरायटी की गालियां खा चुका हूं। मेहरबानी करके इससे जरा भी परेशान मत होइए। शाम को उन गालियों को, उस पर बड़ी हंसी मजाक कीजिए, बढ़िया चाय पीजिए, और दूसरे दिन सुबह कमल खिलने वाला है।
The Prime Minister is arriving, and the Chief Minister's office and others have complained that he has not been appropriately invited. The Chief Minister.
This is very unfortunate that the Chief Minister, like a child, makes such type of statement. It is a matter of pride for the people of Telangana, and it should be a matter of pride for the Honorable Chief Minister also, that Prime Minister is coming here to inaugurate some developmental projects. But he is trying to avoid. It is not the first time. If it is the first time, we can say this. There are several times he has been avoiding to meet Prime Minister. He is not even following the protocols, and he is not even attending the governor's 26th January at high tea party at governor's office. And he is purposefully making it a political issue by coming into confrontation with the Prime Minister. We have invited him through all proper channel. Our Minister of State, Mr. Bhagat Kuba, has personally invited him, has written letter to him because he is the concerned minister and he is also in charge for this particular project. So where did we go wrong? No. Even Jagan Mohan Reddy comes to our welcome and he joins with the Prime Minister to have central government projects inaugurated. Mr. Stalin, though we have a political differences, he comes to Prime Minister's programs what prevents Chandrasekhar Rao? It is only the political jealousy and the growth of the BJP and the Modi's image that is developing in Telangana. For that reason, he is trying to avoid.
जब अंधेरा बहुत बढ़ जाता है, चारों तरफ घना अंधकारा हो जाता है, उसी परिस्थिति में कमल का खिलना शुरू हो जाता है और भोर से ठीक पहले, उजियारे से पहले आज तेलंगाना में भी ऐसे ही कमल खिलता नजर आ रहा है.
All right, and we had a meeting in Tamil Nadu where the DMK government has rejected the 10% EWS reservation cleared by the Supreme Court, saying that they will challenge the verdict legally. The Chief Minister slammed the quota as a joke, but there was an all-party meeting held on this today where the opposition, the AIADMK and the BJP boycotted the meet. We're going to go in for a short break, but we have more news from around the country coming up. Stay tuned.
QSMTH class on. Match off.
रुकावट के लिए खेद है.
Meeting on. A game of.
What's going on?
Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में, हर पल. पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
As early as possible, the 9-judge bench should determine.
The court can say the judgment will apply prospectively.
There's no question of naming another question.
8 currencies did not come back.
You have great respect. No, it doesn't work that way. To some extent, it's theoretical in nature, but let's look at the facts of the petitioner.
One thing that's clear, our world is changing forever.
NDTV, rail news by rail journalists.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, news that informs and inspires.
Facts build stories, but opinions shape them, and we are here to bring you both. A 360-degree look at the day's top stories. We are not afraid to take a stand.
No agendas, no excuses, no whataboutery, and no obfuscation.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love. Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
The show where the country speaks its mind.
This is a first step in the direction of giving women at least a fighting chance.
This is all wishful thinking. Today also you see 23% of our girls are married off before 18.
Your mirror to what India thinks.
Everybody had that second thought, how could you be in fashion because you don't look like a person in fashion? And that for me needed to change.
We the People with me, Sarah Jacob, only on NDTV. If you care about it, we'll talk about it.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story. India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
You're watching Truth versus Hype. We are on the road
with Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra as it enters Maharashtra to examine whether the hype that this is indeed a resurrection of Rahul Gandhi and a revival of India's beleaguered lead opposition party is real or hype. And also to go behind the scenes to understand the mechanics of staging this massive journey, from the crowds that are lining the sides of the road to the viral images from on the ground and in the air that are flooding social media. Bharat Jodo, the anatomy of a yatra, only on NDTV.
Legacy is often seen as a burden of expectations. It comes with its own set of challenges. The challenge to take it forward, challenge to reimagine, challenge to be in the present, and also challenge to think about the future.
What accountability are you talking about?
As long as the core values and principles remain uncompromised. Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 22 years old, but it is young at 22.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
सच दिखाते हैं ताकि दुनिया के बाजार में आजादी सस्ती न बिक जाए. कुर्सी पे बैठने वालों को जमीन की अहमियत याद रहे. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि पैसे की चमक से कभी हुनर ना पड़े फीका. खुदगर्जी खोखला न बना दे सोचने का तरीका. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि अच्छे विचार और आदर्श बस किताबी बातें ना रह जाएं.
चुनौतियां काफी ज्यादा हैं, बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं.
एक बेहतर कल चाहते हैं हम, इसलिए सच दिखाते हैं हम. NDTV इंडिया, जुबान पे सच, दिल में इंडिया.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient from thousands of miles away. None of this was possible
till technology stepped in and made it possible. A selection of the finest stories from across the country where technology comes with a human touch.
Unleash your dreams with Snapdragon in collaboration with NDTV. Only on the NDTV network.
As early as possible, a 9-judge bench should determine.
The court can say the judgment will apply prospectively.
There's no question of naming another question.
Fake currencies did not come back.
You have great respect. No, it doesn't work that way.
To some extent, it's theoretical in nature, but let's look at the facts of the petitioner.
One thing that's clear, our world is changing forever.
NDTV, Rail News by Rail Journalists.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, news that informs and inspires.
Facts build stories, but opinions shape them, and we are here to bring you both.
A 360-degree look at the day's top stories. We are not afraid to take a stand.
No agendas, no excuses, no whataboutery, and no obfuscation.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360,
Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
the show where the country speaks its mind.
This is a first step in the direction of giving women at least a fighting chance.
This is all wishful thinking. Today also you see 23% of our girls are married off before 18.
Your mirror to what India thinks.
Everybody had that second thought, how could you be in fashion because you don't look like a person in fashion? And that for me needed to change.
We the People with me, Sarah Jacob, only on NDTV. If you care about it, we'll talk about it.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
You're watching Truth versus Hype. We are on the road with Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra as it enters Maharashtra to examine whether the hype that this is indeed a resurrection of Rahul Gandhi and a revival of India's beleaguered lead opposition party is real or hype. And also to go behind the scenes to understand the mechanics of staging.
Good evening and welcome to The Big Fight, a show that is young at 23, the oldest running debate show on Indian news television. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. We are debating two issues tonight. Debate number one, the Bharatiya Janata Party has unleashed its Mission Gujarat and has hit top gear. And the Prime Minister is the campaigning phase. 25 rallies. 8 days the Prime Minister will camp in Gujarat starting the 17th of November. One rally each for 3 constituencies, 40-star campaigns. Now, how should one view this? Is this a sign of nervousness, given that there is a new challenger, the Aam Aadmi Party? Or perhaps the Congress's low-key campaigning? Remember, this is not the Congress which is saying this. The Prime Minister acknowledged that the Congress must not be written off. The BJP is also battling a 27-year-old anti-incumbency. Or whether it is nervousness, or is this just the BJP's style? Their way of going into a contest. 100% full throttle blitzkrieg mode towards the end. We'll put this to a debate. Nervous or confident? Also on the show, we debate the fallout of the big decision by the Supreme Court. Rajiv Gandhi's killers will now walk free. Parties in Tamil Nadu say it is only natural this happened. The Gandhis seem to have forgiven the killers, but what explains their own party, the Congress, taking a divergent view on this? In fact, one of those rare moments where the BJP and the Congress are on one side, and the Congress speaking against the Gandhis. So we are going to put that to debate in about 30 minutes from now. But let's begin with our discussion number one. I would like to introduce the Aam Aadmi Party's Gujarat co-in-charge, Raghav Chadda first. Thank you very much, Raghav, for joining us. What do you make of the Prime Minister? You know, this big blitzkrieg mode that the BJP is now entering into. 25 rallies, 8 days camping in Gujarat, one rally for 3 constituencies.
Well, I think the fact that the BJP has to put so many of its resources, so many of its star campaigners, including days and days that the Prime Minister is going to give to the state in the run-up to the elections for his party's election campaign, goes to show that the BJP is quite frankly on a very weak footing in the upcoming Gujarat polls. And their principal challenger this time in the 2022 Gujarat elections is the Aam Aadmi Party. For the last few months, Aam Aadmi Party and its leaders have been tirelessly working on the ground, building a robust organization, putting up a campaign and reaching every household of Gujarat with Kejriwal ki guarantees, which are concrete promises which will lead to economic upliftment of an average Gujarati household. And I think it's primarily because of the kind of response that Aam Aadmi Party is getting, the kind of momentum and traction that we have behind us, and quite frankly, the overwhelming sense of parivartan, that is change in the state, the change in the administration, change in the political party that's at the helm of affairs, which has essentially compelled the Prime Minister and his entire team to spend so much of their time in the state in the run-up to the elections.
But Raghav, one way to look at this is that this is BJP style. We have seen this happen in the past, whether it is a Greater Hyderabad municipal election or a Delhi municipal election or any other election. The BJP goes full throttle. So would you view this as just a sign of their confidence and strategy or nervousness?
Well, I would certainly look at this as their nervousness, because otherwise BJP is a pretty scientifically driven election machine. They concentrate in areas and they concentrate in states depending on what the surveys in the run-up to the elections are showing. So clearly, if the BJP is required to put so much of its might in the fag end of the Gujarat election, it goes to show that their surveys are predicting what our surveys are predicting, which is that Aam Aadmi Party is inching ahead of the BJP in the state of Gujarat, which has essentially now become a two-cornered contest, BJP versus AAP, with Congress completely out of the contest, out of the race.
You've completely written off Congress. But, since we are talking about the BJP, would you not acknowledge that here is a party which has removed 38 of its sitting MLAs. This includes former Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, in a bloodless coup. Not a little squeak also of complaint. Does this not mean organizational strength?
Well, number one, it is BJP's internal matter. It's purely their internal matter. And I don't wish to comment on how they should have driven their campaign and who should have found mention in their list. However, what it does certainly show to me as a political analyst, as a student of political science, and not merely as their political adversary, is huge anti-incumbency, which has led to, mercilessly, tickets being cut of senior most leaders, former chief ministers, deputy chief ministers, etc., being compelled not to contest the upcoming election. I mean, no chief minister or deputy chief minister would not want to contest. Everybody wishes to be an elected representative for as long as they're alive. So the fact that they have not chosen not to contest or announced not to contest essentially means that their name has been struck off from the list, and it stems from the fact that there's a very strong resentment against the BJP, and people on the streets, when you walk around Gujarat, and not just one particular area of Gujarat, whether it's North Gujarat, Southern Gujarat, Saurashtra, wherever you go, people are yearning for change, and people are saying that we want to throw this corrupt and arrogant regime out of power. And, for 27 long years, the BJP has been essentially at the helm of affairs simply because there was no one in the state that could pose a challenge to the BJP. And simply because Aam Aadmi Party is there now, which is not going to take it lying low, isn't going to give the BJP a walkover like the Congress used to, but they are now compelled to even, cut tickets of their senior most and the tallest leaders in the state.
All right, Raghav Chadha, many thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. Let me now quickly go across to our guests and open this up for a debate. Lalita Kumaramangalam, member of the BJP. Sanjay Kumar is a psephologist and professor at CSDS. Ajay Umat, group editor of Ahmedabad Mirror and Nav Gujarat Samay. Rohan Gupta is the spokesperson of the Congress Party, chairman of the social media department. Deepal Trivedi, senior journalist, joining us from Gujarat. And Puneet Juneja, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you very much to all of you. Let's begin with what we call is the first punch, 1 minute time for your opening comments. And since we are talking about the BJP, Ms. Lalita Kumaramangalam, your time begins now.
Okay, 1 minute is very short, so I'll just rush through it. I think the AAP is tilting at windmills. The BJP has always said that party first, nation first, party next, and self last. you're right that we've always brought in new blood, and this is exactly what has happened with the candidates for this election. We have the right to change our candidates as we think will do best for both the party and the state. Mr. Modi, people seem to forget, is actually from Gujarat. He was CM there for many years. He has an emotional connect with the people there. He has an emotional connect across the country, but especially Gujarat. He's the son of that soil. And we always have a blitzkrieg before elections, as you rightly pointed out, Sanket, everywhere. Now, it's like the pot calling the kettle black when AAP says corrupt and arrogant. Look what's happening in Delhi with them. For them, it is a question of almost desperation. If they lose Gujarat this time, they're going to lose pretty badly. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to face the public. Now, I think he's also forgotten the Gujarat's history. There was a very, very strong Congress party organization at one time before the BJP came in. Now, whether it's going to be a walkover for the AAP or not, we'll see on results day.
Sure.
Now, I don't think one should expect that our senior leaders will not go to Gujarat to campaign.
I'm going to come back
Both
to you.
Both Modi ji and Amit ji are from there, and we always put our best foot forward.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you and you can elaborate further. But Rohan Gupta, I mean, your opening comments and then I'll ask you a question. A lot has been said about the Congress party. Where is the campaigning?
See, Sanket, I was really surprised with BJP's tall claims of more than 150 seats till now. And today when I heard Mr. Raghav Chadda, I think when we call BJP A team and Aam Aadmi B team in terms of marketing, I think we are not wrong. Sanket, Gujarat has seen 27 years of misrule of BJP. And the Morbi incident was the final nail in coffin as far as the people of Gujarat are concerned. Because kind of confidence what they had on Mr. Modi is shattered. Even after 10 days, no action has been taken on the real culprits. And the way BJP had changed around 39 of their MLAs, it clearly shows that what is the strong anti-incumbency on the ground. They had to replace the ex-CM, they had to replace ex-deputy CM, the whole, at least 10 ministers were not given ticket. Why this so? Because before 4 years, they replaced the whole government. Because of the COVID mismanagement, people are not happy. And now, when at the back end of the election, they know that on ground, their situation is really bad. And Congress is going toe to toe with their Vachan, Aant Vachan, and they are getting tremendous response from the people. Aam Aadmi is absolutely nowhere and picture. Like Uttarakhand and Goa, they will be a vote Katua party.
We seem to be losing your audio, Mr. Gupta. I'm going to come back to you. Puneet Juneja.
Yes.
Your opening comments, please.
Sanket, Gujarat has seen 27 years of anti-incumbency. This anti-incumbency is not only with regards to the ruling party. BJP as a ruling party has failed the state. Even the Congress as an opposition could not give as an opposition what it should have given to the people of Gujarat. They never tried to replace BJP. Even in 2017, when they were in such a strong position, when they had 77 MLAs elected and they were by very few margin, they had lost on certain seats. Today, they are left with only 61 or 60 of those MLAs. Rest of them have already migrated to BJP. Now, I'm using this term migration because defection is no longer a bad word for BJP and Congress. Now, when they say A team or B team, they have to first introspect that who has been selling their MLAs or whose MLAs are being sold out, be it Goa, be it other states, and be it Gujarat. Now, for what Aam Aadmi Party has come to the state with, it is not that Aam Aadmi Party has not proven its track record. Aam Aadmi Party has, in fact, shown a very good result.
Okay, one minute time elections. Is up. Mr. Juneja, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah, sure.
Deepal Trivedi. Opening comment.
Yes. First of all, I would want to say that the Aam Aadmi Party has been giving a very spirited fight in Gujarat, and it is Aam Aadmi Party's entry that has made these assembly elections very interesting and exciting. But on the other hand, it is also their overconfidence that is very startling, because all said and done, though the Aam Aadmi Party has been very aggressive, has taken to the street, they lack a local cadre which is reflected. It is also reflected in their choice of candidates. But at the same time, I would want to say that even if the Aam Aadmi Party does not make any commendable or any very overwhelming victories, these elections, it is going to leave behind a very impressive vote share that is going to reflect.
I think that's a very important point. And while they do that, Sanjay Kumar, there is a very important and pertinent question on what this is going to do to the Congress's vote share. And if there is this split, then are we going to see, perhaps, I don't know, as some analysts say, the best ever BJP performance? Because you will have a vertical split in the opposition.
I would be one of those analysts who would agree with this view that BJP may be heading for this biggest victory in Gujarat, not because that BJP's government is being appreciated by the people of Gujarat, but only because there is a vertical split in the votes of anti-BJP votes between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress. I think the limited interest I have in Gujarat election is who is going to be number 2 and who is going to be number 3. So there is a keen contest for number 2 and number 3 position. I think the verdict is clear to me that it is a BJP's victory in Gujarat. The only issue is how big is going to be the BJP's victory.
Okay, Ajay Umat, I know you have been saying this for a very long time, Mr. Ajay Umat, and you were the first one on NDTV to have come up with the Gandhinagar theory.
Yes.
Do you subscribe to this view, and what do you make of this very strong campaigning plan of the BJP? Part of the plan or nervousness?
I'm happy that Deepal and Professor Sanjay Gupta is endorsing my theory. But having said that, there is no emotional wave this time, that we had seen in 2002 election post Godhra riots, or in 2007 when Sonia Gandhi said that Modi is Maut ka Saudagar, or in 2012 when, Modi as CM of Gujarat was likely to become Chief Prime Minister of India. And in 2017, there were 3 agitations by Hardik Patel and Jignesh Mehwani and Alpesh Thakur. This time, BJP is managing its electioneering management in such a manner that BJP will get majority with Congress turncoats, because there are 19 turncoats of Congress party to whom BJP has taken in their first list, because BJP wants to wants to get maximum seat in this election by hook or crook. And that's the reason that, so many Congress MLAs were accommodated in their list. So winnability and winnability with Modi's charisma, one man show, that is the only criteria that BJP has adopted at this point of time. They have balanced caste equation, communal equations, uniform civil code to, illegal encroachment, abolishment, everything, whatever threads of the trick BJP has adopted to win this election with maximum seats.
Okay, so Lalita Kumaramangalam, just coming back to you, you've heard the analysts over here who feel that the BJP is not going to win because of its grand stellar work, or that it has been able to buck anti-incumbency. You are going to have perhaps the best win, and none of us should be Nostradamus right now, the best possible win according to the analysts, simply because of a completely fractured vote share among the 2 opposition players. Aam Aadmi Party will not be strong enough and the Congress will not be so weak.
Sanket, elections are fought to be won. It sounds, I don't want to sound harsh. I'm not somebody who goes overboard in using harsh words. But the people who are going to lose normally always find excuses for why the other person has won. The point is that we have an extraordinarily strong organization, not just in Gujarat, but also in Gujarat. We have the PM from there. We have been there in power for 27 years. It sounds ridiculous when you say they've had 27 years of anti-incumbency. How we've been in power then? We will win these elections. Again, as the gentleman who spoke before me, Mr. Ajay Umar, said, it's about what the gap may be, who takes second place, third place. It's not for us to worry. It's for AAP and Congress to worry. We've always done a blitzkrieg. We know we are going to win. Yes, there have been many new people who've been brought in, but again, that's also quite like the BJP. Who thought before 2014 that Narendra Modi would actually win twice, back to back, and become Prime Minister of India, not just for one term. People are expecting him to win again in 2024. So election, nothing in life stands still. Nothing is static. We know that we are going to win. Yes, there have been problems. There have been ups and downs, but that goes for politics just as much as it goes for life, in anybody's lives and in any party. There was a time when nobody could defeat the Congress. But then look where the Congress is now. So ups and downs are always there. The coming elections in Gujarat, the BJP will win.
Rohan Gupta,
and whatever reasons
Lalita
others may
Kumaramangalam
find to throw stones at us,
and the
we
many
expect
panelists
it.
over here feel that don't read too much into this blitzkrieg. It's not because of any nervousness. This is just BJP. BJP ka style hai ye. This is their style. Okay. And then questions are asked on why are you creating this space in Gujarat? You see, the Congress party has been a very strong opposition. It's not like for 27 years, no opposition existed. I mean, when the former Chief Minister, Narendra Modi, when he was the Chief Minister, even then, 70 odd MLAs the Congress always used to get. Then what? Where is your campaign? Why are you not building up? And do you think this argument of low-key campaign is going to work, Mr. Gupta? Low-key.
No,
what is low-key?
I will tell you, Sanket. See, एक कहावत है हिंदी में कि जब आप जनता को हल्के में लेते हैं, जनता आपको चमत्कार दिखाती है. और यही गुजरात में, I'll tell you, Sanket, it reminds me of 2017. All debates during this time, maximum seats given to Congress party were not more than 36 seats. I'm telling you, I have all those surveys and all. See, the ground level situation, Sanket, because I am from Gujarat, number one is what people think, whatever analysis we do. People
but Mr.
are
Gupta, there was no Aam Aadmi Party then.
Sanket, I'm coming to it. That's what I'm saying. When there was no Aam Aadmi Party, it was told that we will win only 30 to 40 seats and we could reach up to 77 seats. It is because there is a strong cadre of Congress party, number one. Number two, the anger compared to 2017 in mind of people of Gujarat is much more higher. It is multifold. And Morbi incident has, it has multiplied in mind of people, where after 10 days, they have not taken any action. When it comes to, like I was listening to Aam Aadmi Party also, surprisingly, whatever your analysts are saying, mark my words, today's debate, that Aam Aadmi Party will damage BJP more when the results will come. Why
very
I'm saying?
Interesting.
I'll tell you why.
Why do you come to this conclusion?
I'll give you the example. I'll give you. Surat is one place where Aam Aadmi Party has given the candidates like Gopal Italia or past convener Alpesh Kathiria and all, who are considered to be strong candidates. Surat, Congress has never won any seats. Even their so-called CM candidate, even now he's not able to find the perfect constituency or a safe constituency where he can win the elections. Sanket, Gujarat is a state where assemblies are of the size of 2.5 lakh to 3 lakh voters. Unless and until you have strong candidates who can go and take mites of existing MLAs, whether it is Congress or BJP, yes, you can be a vote katua party, but the kind of, claims which are made by Aam Aadmi Party, they are not going to be successful.
Okay, very interesting. Rohan Gupta has made a very, very interesting point. Ajay Umat as well as Deepal Trivedi, one by one. Yeah.
Last point about Congress campaign. Congress ke 8 vachan. What this time we have done, Sanket, we have spoken to lots of people, and we have identified 8 key points, whether it is old pension scheme, giving gas bottle in 500 rupees, specific points touching specific Gujarati people.
Okay, fine. Ajay Umat and Sanjay Kumar, do you feel that the Congress's assessment is correct? The Congress's assessment is correct that the Aam Aadmi Party will actually damage the BJP more than the Congress party, or is it the other way around?
No, Sanket.
What if there is a fresh allegation from the BJP that AAP is Congress's B team?
No, what Rohan Gupta is saying is right to an extent that in Surat, yes, in Surat, Olpad, Kaprada, Olpad, then Katargam, Karanj, Varacha, and Surat North and Surat East. These are 5 seats, where Alpesh Kathiria and Sorathia and Gopal Italia are contesting. Yes, they will do better, and I think they will give direct fight to Bharatiya Janata Party. But that's the only urban pocket where Aam Aadmi Party is giving a direct fight to Bharatiya Janata Party. So it's not a
pan-Gujarat experience. This is limited to Surat.
Surat, and I'll give you one more example. In last municipal corporation election, Congress party reduced from 36 to 0 and Aam Aadmi party got from 0 to 27. So this is that Varacha pocket. The Varacha pocket, you know, where Alpesh Kathiria and all this Patel Anamat Andolan Samiti's epicenter, you know, where all those Patels migrated from Saurashtra to Surat, mainly in that diamond cutting business, you know, they will be voting for Aam Aadmi party. Yes, that is their strong pocket. But barring that, you know, in Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat, Ahmedabad, Baroda, Rajkot, and in other urban pockets, I don't think that, you know, they can cut ice or they can cut votes of BJP. Sanket, in last elections, you know, out of 55 urban seats, metro seats, Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat, and Rajkot, BJP got 44 seats. That shows that their strike rate in urban area is more than 80%. Whereas in rural area, out of 127, Congress got 70 seats. So Congress may be focusing in rural and tribal area. Whereas, you know, in urban area, out of, you know,
but that has always been the case, Mr. Umar. Rural and tribal has been sort of a strength of the Congress in Gujarat.
No. Tribal means, when I say tribal, I mean Banaskantha, Sabarkantha, Dahod, Panchmal, Chota Udaipur, Rajpipla, Vyara, Bharuch, Songat, that, you know, tribal belt where, you know, once upon a time Philistan idea was, you know, promoted by Medha Patkar and others. So that is an area adjoining to Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and going towards Maharashtra. So that seats I am talking, which is 46 seats. So in those areas, you know, Congress is very, very strong, where, you know, Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to break. You know, for example, I'll give you an example. Bhavesh Katara and his father, Jalot seat, that comes under Dahod district. Chota Udaipur, you know, Mohan Rathwa, he joined Bharatiya Janata Party, and within one day, BJP has given ticket to his son. Though the BJP stated policy is that, you know, we don't believe in Parivarwad, but Bhavesh Katara, son of senior Katara, who was ex-parliament member, was given a seat. And they are still waiting. They have vacated a seat in Dediapada to, you know, break this father and son, you know.
Ajay Umar's extremely granular analysis of Gujarat.
I'm giving a BTP party.
One moment, you know, because we are talking about the Aam Aadmi Party, I'll come to Sanjay Kumar also, because we are talking about the Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Juneja, who will you damage more? Or are we to expect Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat in 2022 to do what Aam Aadmi Party did in Punjab in 2017? That you fought an election to not basically win, but to just create a base. And this is actually a Gujarat foray for 2027.
Sanket, elections are always fought to be won. Aam Aadmi Party has been discounted right from its inception. Even in 2012, when the party was formed, it was told that it is a party of one person, two people, five people, and they call themselves party. They don't have a cadre.
No, sir. The reason why this is said, because where is your cadre? Where is your booth level worker?
That's what I'm coming to.
Congress boasts of an organization.
Yes, every time, be it Delhi election, be it Punjab elections, be it Gujarat elections, be it Surat elections when we fought the corporation elections, every time we have been discounted, saying that you don't have a cadre, you don't have... But if you try to understand the way the Aam Aadmi Party has come up, Sanket, this is a political party which has come up on the issues of people, right? We have not been like a traditional political party, you know, dividing people on basis of caste, religion or anything. We talk about class, a class of common people, common man, Aam Aadmi. When we talk about Aam Aadmi, we talk about their issues like their education, their healthcare, transportation, their, growth, overall growth.
Okay. Let me bring in Professor Sanjay Kumar. Professor Kumar, just a short while ago, a comment was made on how the attempt is to basically break the Congress party, try to enter into the tribal belt, try to enter into the Congress strongholds, and also a discussion around who will be able to do it better. Will the Aam Aadmi Party damage the BJP more or the Congress more? This is all analysis. I mean, ultimately the result will speak for itself. And the other point that was made was how the BJP got 19 turncoats from the Congress into their fold with the intention to basically, you know, break into those Congress fortresses.
Sanket, I don't have a clear answer to the second question, how BJP managed to, you know, bring these 19 ex-congressmen to their fold.
Yeah.
But let me focus more on which party, Aam Aadmi Party, is going to damage more. I think I'm very, very clear that Aam Aadmi Party is damaging the Congress more, not the BJP. There are two evidences. One, we have done a study and we saw that it very clearly Aam Aadmi Party is sitting with roughly about 20-25% vote. Congress is also sitting with 20-22% vote. So Congress from its 41-42% vote is going down, and all these votes, mostly 90% of these votes are getting transferred to Aam Aadmi Party. So I have an evidence based on which I'm saying that Aam Aadmi Party is damaging the Congress, not the BJP.
No, but this is
second
massive,
evidence.
Professor
What has
Kumar,
happened in
because
Delhi,
if
we
this
have all seen.
Professor Kumar, if what you're saying is true, then this is massive. Then ideally, if you transfer this into seats, this would translate to something about 140 or 145 seats. This sort of vote share.
For the BJP.
For BJP, yeah, for BJP.
For the BJP, yes, that is why in the opening statement I said that BJP may be heading for his. Yes, that is what I said in the beginning. But remember, the second point, the second evidence is what has happened in Delhi. We have all seen when Aam Aadmi Party has come to power in 2013, 2015 and 2020. What has happened to the Congress? Look at what has happened to Congress in Punjab. So it is very clear that Aam Aadmi Party has more or less the same support base which Congress had. So if Aam Aadmi Party is going up, it is the Congress which goes down.
So it's a lateral
Second
transfer
point about BJP.
from
yes,
Congress to Aam Aadmi Party.
Aam Aadmi Party will. No, Aam Aadmi Party will definitely get some votes or sizable number of votes in the urban areas, but that will not damage the BJP in terms of seats, because BJP has almost 15-16% lead over Congress in the urban areas. So even if Aam Aadmi Party manages to snatch votes from BJP, that may not damage BJP in terms of number of seats, because BJP has a huge margin over Congress.
Okay.
In the urban constituency.
Rohan Gupta and then Deepal Trivedi. Mr. Gupta, do you feel that this is then a part of a strategy? I mean, will you then accuse the Aam Aadmi Party of being B team and this whole campaigning blitzkrieg perhaps a part of a big strategy of going in full throttle with campaigning, also doing this micromanagement, and then, as the Congress always accuses the Aam Aadmi Party of unleashing a B team so that you tend to weaken?
Basic objective was that only. But the way this election is turning out, again I am repeating, I am not saying just as a Congress spokesperson. If you see on ground, the constituency in Gujarat, unlike Delhi or Punjab, they are 2 to 3 times bigger than what they are in Punjab and Delhi. Now, after Aam Aadmi Party's candidates are declared, right, they created this euphoria when Mr. Kejriwal was here in terms of media, this thing and all. People vote for candidates. Now, if you ask anybody in Gujarat, number of candidates which are declared by Aam Aadmi Party, they are not the people who can go to the people. And when you are saying the splitting of opposition votes, no, that's not going to happen. Mark my words. If you have seen Uttarakhand, you have seen Himachal Pradesh, you have seen Goa, that Aam Aadmi Party had remained in that margin of particular percentage, and that is where Gujarat is different, because Gujarat is the first urban state. Majorly, Gujarat is the urban state where BJP is in power. That's why I'm saying, now, after declaration of Delhi elections, the might of Aam Aadmi Party has shifted only to Surat, where there are at least 4 or 5 candidates where people know. Apart from that, even again, I'm repeating that so-called CM candidate is not able to announce the constituency. So mark my words, maybe the original strategy was there to split the opposition votes, but it is going to backfire as far as...
So many times in this program you have said, mark my words. I'm going to truly mark this. And we'll have a discussion on the 8th of December. So many times Mr. Gupta has told us, mark my words. So we have officially marked.
Yeah,
today.
can I just make
one moment. Miss Kumaramangalam, Deepal Trivedi.
Completed.
Yeah, Mr. Gupta, quickly.
Yeah, so again, it is said that Congress campaign is low-key. No, it's not low-key. When Mr. Rajiv Gandhi started Bharat Jodo Yatra, before that we had one rally in Ahmedabad where lakhs of people were there. Mr. Modi did that Sabha 3 days back. 3 times the people what Mr. Modi Sabha had, we had 3 times. Number one. Number two, As far as our cadre is concerned, Sanket, 1.5 crore households we have done door-to-door campaign about our 8 vachans. Our candidates, they are on ground. The kind of candidates what Congress has declared, I think Ajay we will appreciate the...
Deepal Trivedi, fine, we got your point. Deepal Trivedi and then Lalita
This
Kumar.
is the first time that Congress party has declared the number of candidates in advance without any kind of issues after
Trivedi,
declaration.
please.
We'll see the difference.
Ms. Trivedi.
I would, Sanket, I would go with Professor Kumar that Aam Aadmi Party is going to damage the Congress more than the BJP, if not decimate it in these elections. And to BJP's credit, you know, BJP is known for taking every election very seriously in Gujarat, even if it's a small ward or a small Nagarpalika election. BJP is known for its booth management, for its page pramukh, for micromanaging. So an assembly election is no exception. So people outside Gujarat, you know, trying to focus on this point of Prime Minister Modi paying so much attention to Gujarat. But this is expected, and this has always been the trend of BJP. There definitely is anti-incumbency in Gujarat. And Rohan pointed out, you know, he mentioned the Morbi tragedy thrice.
Correct.
But then this is the problem with Congress, that why is it that they always have to depend on natural or man-made disasters? We have been seeing it from 2001, the Gujarat earthquake, the demonetization, the GST, 2002, a lot of events, but still BJP has managed to get back into power.
Okay,
It is because of...
Lalita Kumaramangalam.
Yeah, the whole comparison of Punjab and Gujarat is quite ludicrous. Punjab, there was no BJP almost in the election. We really didn't fight that election to win it. We knew we're nowhere in Punjab. And Punjab is a very small state. This has been said by many of the others in this debate. Punjab is a very small state. Congress was in such an utter mess. We know what happened in Punjab, but that's done and dusted. Let's not go on about that. The fact
when I made that comment, Ms. Kumaramangalam, I basically meant that you fight an election to create to create a base. And then once your cadre is built, then you fight perhaps after 5 years to win.
That's true of any party, Sanket. Don't forget that the BJP, we built a base for 70 years before we really made a show, was strong enough to take on even the principal party, which was then the Congress. But that's not the point. The point is that, yes, after 27 years, there's bound to be a certain amount of anti-incumbency for any party. And it's therefore in certain parts in Gujarat. But despite everything, we are confident of winning. What will happen to the Congress and the AAP, that's their business. I'm not going to get into that. But we know that we are going to win. We have pulled out the stops. Modi ji will ensure, and so will every organization man in the BJP top to bottom will ensure that
as Mr. Rohan Gupta said, mark my words. So we are marking everybody's words. Thank you very much for this first discussion. We're stopping for a short break at this moment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we'll talk about the big decision by the Supreme Court. Rajiv Gandhi's killers will now walk free. All parties in Tamil Nadu are saying that this is natural. The Gandhis have forgiven the killers, but one really does not know what explains that the Gandhis party, the Congress party and the BJP are now on one side in opposing this. They feel that you cannot be forgiving terrorists who have been found guilty of murdering a former Prime Minister. That debate up next.
QSMT class on, match off, meeting on, a game off.
What's going on? Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में हर पल. पूरी family के लिए.
Everybody's on.
Legacy is often seen as a burden of expectations. It comes with its own set of challenges. The challenge to take it forward, challenge to reimagine, challenge to be in the present, and also challenge to think about the future.
What accountability are you talking about?
As long as the core values and principles remain uncompromised. Debates are essential not just for journalism, but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 22 years old, but it is young at 22.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
सच दिखाते हैं ताकि दुनिया के बाजार में आजादी सस्ती न बिक जाए. कुर्सी पे बैठने वालों को जमीन की अहमियत याद रहे. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि पैसे की चमक से कभी हुनर ना पड़े फीका. खुदगर्जी खोखला न बना दे सोचने का तरीका. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि अच्छे विचार और आदर्श बस किताबी बातें ना रह जाएं.
चुनौतियां काफी ज्यादा हैं, बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं.
एक बेहतर कल चाहते हैं हम, इसलिए सच दिखाते हैं हम. NDTV इंडिया, जुबान पे सच, दिल में इंडिया.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient from thousands of miles away. None of this was possible
till technology stepped in and made it possible. A selection of the finest stories from across the country where technology comes with a human touch.
Unleash your dreams with Snapdragon in collaboration with NDTV, only on the NDTV network.
They say the zero is nothing unless it connects the dots and the real story emerges. Unless it captures the truth. They say the camera never lies. Unless it is the essence of India, of diversity and tolerance. Unless it reveals the wealth of nations and silences the barrel of a gun. Unless it reflects the sadness in the eye of the tiger as forests disappear.
We have with us Rakesh Dwivedi, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, N. Ram, Director of the Hindu Publishing Group. Ramchandra Rao is from the BJP. Mr. Pugayendi, National Spokesperson of the AIA-DMK. Dr. S. Hafizullah, DMK spokesperson. And we also have Manikam B. Tagore, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress Party. Thank you very much, all of you. First of all, the legal view. Mr. Dwivedi, I want to know from you, how does this sit? If you could explain for the benefit of our viewers, what were the arguments that the Supreme Court heard post which this decision was taken? The logic, basically.
When the first round of litigation happened before a 5-judges constitution bench some 4 or 5 years back, then an issue had arisen on account of the union challenging a notice issued by the government of Tamil Nadu, which required them to take a call about release within a specified time. So the Supreme Court in that case had held that though all other offences which were involved, the sentences have been served out, only section 302 IPC remained, with respect to which life imprisonment had been granted to these convicts. So the state of Tamil Nadu had full jurisdiction to grant release to them. Now in that context, subsequently, as we know that in Tamil Nadu, the general perception amongst the public and in the Legislative Assembly, a unanimous resolution had been passed. So finally, the government seems to have taken a decision that they should be released. But the governor refused to sign it and he sent the matter to the union government for its decision. Now that was again a matter of challenge in Pararivalan's case some 4 or 5 months back. And in that, it was held by the Supreme Court that once the cabinet has taken a decision, then the governor has no discretion left except to sign it, and he had no business to forward the matter to the union government. And even otherwise, public order is in list 2 of the 7th schedule. So with respect to 302, it is the state government alone which has to take a decision, not the union. So union has no role to play. Now that decision has not been challenged either by any political party or the Congress party or the Gandhi family or the union government. Subsequently, no review, etc. has been filed. So the matter rested there that the cabinet has taken a decision to release, and since the government of Tamil Nadu has taken a decision, the Supreme Court itself directed under Article 142 that since they have served more than 30 years in the jail, it serves no purpose in keeping them now in jail. Now, following that precedent, today, the remaining 6 accused, the convicts, they also filed and they were also granted similar relief. And I do not understand why there should be so much hue and cry about it, because although he was a tall leader and this kind of assassinations are to be deprecated, and nobody can take a light stand, and 30 years is not a small time, a small period. Now, if you recollect that long time back when Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated, then Gopal Godse, who had got a life imprisonment, then all the family members of the Mahatma Gandhi, they had written to Jawaharlal Nehru to release them. Ultimately, matter went to Supreme Court. In 1961, the Supreme Court said that only the government can release, not the court.
Correct.
And finally, within 3 years, the government released.
Okay,
So
okay.
no
I get the point that you're trying to make, but Mr. N. Ram, you
Gandhi
see...
is not a taller leader than Mahatma Gandhi. If he could be released in 16 years, I'm sure 30 years is double the time. What's the sense in keeping them in, especially when Priyanka Gandhi has visited Nalini and the jail? And so I think the broad consensus is, and the human rights require, that such a long incarceration.
Yeah, while I agree with and I don't dispute your facts, but you see, Mr. N. Ram, here we are talking about the assassination of a former Prime Minister, and the view generally of the Congress party, not the family, of the Congress party is that convicted terrorists, people who have been convicted of assassinating a former Prime Minister, when they will be let off, then there will be a precedent. And how does the court then intend to answer these contradictions?
Sanket, I used to believe that in cases like this, life means life. But I am persuaded by what the senior counsel has just explained. I don't think it will set a precedent in the sense that every person who approaches the court will get relief, because it depends on, in a sense, on a case-by-case basis, satisfactory conduct in this long incarceration, and then whether they've done something to improve their capabilities, whether they've contributed something in the creative space and so on. So I think the court will look at those things as well. But the point here is the two main political parties are united in this in the state, are very clear that the time has come for them to be released. And secondly, I think that's very, very important. The governor had no business just keeping it in his pocket or in his stable for such a long period. That, I think, is a factor that must be taken into account. And then to send it to the wrong address instead of acting, I think is completely unacceptable. And I think this is a blow, a small blow for what the Constitution empowers the states to do. One of the few things that have happened in favor of state rights is this, that the governor, who in the case of Tamil Nadu, he has been holding several bills, just blocking them. Then what respect does the state legislature have, or the executive in the state? Which is,
Mr. N. Ram, would you not like to make a distinction between the other bills being held up by the governor, allegedly, and something as serious as this? Because while you say that state political parties are united in favoring this decision, you've got the two national parties that are dead opposed to what has happened in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, they have the least stake because they are very minor players in the state of Tamil Nadu. And I really appreciate what Priyanka Gandhi did. I was of the view earlier, life is life for a heinous offense, assassination, not just murder. or something. It changed the course of Indian politics. So I was of that view, but taking all things into consideration, I think they've done right. Public sentiment is also in favor of this. These people, it is really justice tempered by mercy, and the Supreme Court, I think, has got it right.
Okay. Ramchandra Rao of the Bharatiya Janata Party. How do you view this decision? I mean, this is, as Mr. N. Ram said, as Rakesh Dwivedi said, and I'm sure DMK and ADMK spokespersons are also going to echo the same sentiment. But how do you look at this decision? We've all heard what the Congress's view is. Mr. Ramchandra Rao.
Yeah. So, in fact, this is as just now Mr. Ram said, that this is a legal decision tempered with humanity or public sentiment, whatever it may be. But it is one of the rarest cases that the Supreme Court has taken such a decision where people who are accused of killing a Prime Minister and indulging in a terrorist activity are being let off. In fact, the courts have time and again cleared it. Life means life. But under what circumstances they are being left? In fact, this is a case where Honorable Prime Minister of this country had been assassinated and a lot of people, other people have died in this case. So those sentiments are also necessary to look after when such a decision is taken. Now, the fact remains that the family member of Sri Rajiv Gandhi, late Sri Rajiv Gandhi, met the assassins and they were also very sympathetic to them. But however, that should not have influenced the court while taking a decision. I think law for everyone should be one, and law for terrorists should be firm in this country. Otherwise, there will not be any deterrent. And that's what I feel, that maybe it is special power used by Supreme Court. We will not go into it. But as far as the relieving of some terrorists by the court in such a serious matter, I think it is a matter of concern to think over. The baby sentiment and other things may stand in its own place. But I don't think that law should also be so sympathetic to the people who have killed the Prime Minister and who had participated in the terrorist activities.
Prashant Pratap Singh, I want to come to you now and I want to ask you, how does it sit within your party that the Congress tall leadership, the High Command or the Gandhis have another view and your party has another view? Are they not the party? How is it that you have been able to make this distinction within your party on what is the Gandhi's view and what is the Congress party's view?
The party is very clear on, and we have released a statement. It clearly says the decision of the Supreme Court to free the remaining killers for former Prime Minister Sri Rajiv Gandhi is totally unacceptable and completely erroneous. The Congress party criticizes it clearly and finds it wholly untenable. So when we talk about the Gandhis, it's very personal to them. It's a personal space. That's the feeling they had. But not to forget, Shri, as you mentioned, Rajiv Gandhi is our previous Prime Minister. He was murdered in cold blood, and this is a terrorist act. Just think about it. If this was Kasab, and in the case of Kasab, would we be talking about retributive and non-reformative sentence? They have been released after 30 years, but their sentences have been, and the Supreme Court has used Article 142, which we don't agree with. It gives them the power, discretionary power, to release these convicts. But why now this is the precedent which they are setting is so dangerous.
If you look at the facts, the Supreme Court judgment on the assassination case, finally it was ruled that it was not a terrorism offense. If you look at the judgment now, I just want to recall this, that and they went into it in some detail, what is terrorism? So there also it falls to the ground. It was horrible. It is arguable, I think. I think clearly it was a terrorism offense in a political sense. But according to the law, if you go back to the judgment, it didn't comply with the requirements to brand it as a terrorism offense. You can check that, and our senior counsel may have something to say on that issue as well.
They were acquitted of the charge of terrorism.
Yeah.
The Ajmal case is entirely different.
Okay, one moment. Hafizullah wanted to comment.
Absolutely.
Yes. I just want to agree with what Ram sir said. That is what I wanted to point it out. It is not a terrorism case. It was conducted as a trial for murder. So the whole it is a 302. It is nothing more. It is a 302 section. That is the ground. That is the ground that the Supreme Court said that the executive power lies with the executive power lies with the
and Ram, please. Mr. Ram wants to come in, and then
I
Mr.
really
Rakesh.
want to place on record my admiration for all members of the immediate Rajiv Gandhi family for the nobility they have shown in this respect. That's an important part. And the Congress, what appears to be a contradiction is really not that. And that was explained. So I think it was remarkable. It is exceptional, particularly the way Priyanka Gandhi initiated that. And Rahul at one time said, I'm not on the same page or something, but overall, after all, for Nalini's case, the death sentence was commuted after the intervention of Sonia Gandhi. So these are special things in politics. So I think that sentiment, that kind of nobility has to be appreciated in this context.
How would you respond to the Congress party, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, saying that this will set a precedent, that even other cases of lesser intensity may use this as an example?
Let me first of all condemn the speaker for using the expression shameful, etc. for the Supreme Court's judgment. It is highly contemptuous, so it's a warning to him. The second thing is, he should have read the judgments of Parariwalan in this judgment very carefully. Supreme Court has exercised power of 142 only because the cabinet of the government of Tamil Nadu has already taken a decision, and they are the authority to take a decision for commutation. And therefore, the Supreme Court said that it is no use sending the matter back because the government has already taken a decision, and therefore this. So coming to the third question of precedent, the Congress must first answer why did they left Gopal Godse after 16 years? Was that not a precedent? Fourth point is, every case, even if they think that this is terrorism, every case of terrorism is not identical. As Mr. Ram said, that you have to go case by case. Here is a case where these are 6-7 persons who played a very minor role, and some of them are not even aware as to what the other person is doing and what for it is being done. And there was a particular political background also. The LTT was there at that time as a force which was fighting in Sri Lanka, and they were aggrieved by the IPKF being sent to Sri Lanka. Now that LTT has disappeared, all that political background has disappeared. So there was certain element of by which these people may have been got involved into this conspiracy. So therefore, this is a case which is of a peculiar kind, and it had a particular background, and these people are not the main actors, and they have suffered enormously by 30 years. There's hardly an incident, double the time Gopal Godse spent. So let us not talk about precedent. Precedent was set in 1964, 16 years. But here it is 30 years.
Sure. Okay. Prashant Pratap Singh, Mr. Hafizullah, Mr. Pugendi, Ramchandra Rao, N. Ram, as well as Rakesh Dwivedi. Many thanks for joining us on this discussion. Thank you so much.
Ritika, on match off. रुकावट के लिए खेद है. Meeting on. A game off.
What's going on? Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में हर पल. पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
One thing that's clear, our world is changing forever.
NDTV, rail news by rail journalists.
This is NDTV.
NDTV. No noise, no shouting, news that informs and inspires.
Facts build stories, but opinions shape them, and we are here to bring you both.
A 360-degree look at the day's top stories. We are not afraid to take a stand.
No agendas, no excuses, no whataboutery, and no obfuscation.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love. Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
The show where the country speaks its mind.
This is a first step in the direction of giving women at least a fighting chance.
This is all wishful thinking. Today also you see 23% of our girls are married off before 18.
Your mirror to what India thinks.
Everybody had that second thought, how could you be in fashion because you don't look like a person in fashion? And that for me needed to change.
We the People with me, Sarah Jacob, only on NDTV. If you care about it, we'll talk about it.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies.
Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it.
News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
You're watching Truth versus Hype. We are on the road with Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra as it enters Maharashtra to examine whether the hype that this is indeed a resurrection of Rahul Gandhi and a revival of India's beleaguered lead opposition party is real or hype. And also to go behind the scenes to understand the mechanics of staging this massive journey, from the crowds that are lining the sides of the road to the viral images from on the ground and in the air that are flooding social media.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre. It has been a packed news day. I'm Sarah Jacob. Let's get you up to date with the day's top story. Voting for the high-stakes battle in Himachal Pradesh ends. The BJP aims for a second term. The Congress eyes a comeback. Will the Himalayan states revenge or tradition of voting against the incumbent be broken? Results out on the 8th of December. A day after the Supreme Court's ruling, Nalini Sriharan, convicted in the assassination case of the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, is released from jail after 31 years. It's a new life, a new lease of life for me, says Nalini Sriharan on her release. In Telangana, Prime Minister Modi hits out at the ruling TRS and Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. The Chief Minister once again skips receiving the Prime Minister, who targeted KCR's family, accusing them of corruption and dynastic politics. Gujarat riots, convict's daughter gets a BJP ticket to fight the Gujarat polls. Naroda Patia riots case convict Manoj Khurani's daughter Payal will fight in the Gujarat elections on a BJP ticket. In an all-party meet chaired by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, the ruling DMK rejects the 10% EWS reservation cleared by the Supreme Court, says they will challenge the verdict legally. MK Stalin slams the quota as a joke. The AIADMK and the BJP boycott the meet. And the Trinamool Congress distances itself from Akhil Giri's comment, the TMC minister's distasteful comments about the appearance of President Murmu. The BJP calls for statewide protests. Amit Malviya adds to these, makes references to the Bengal Chief Minister's appearance now. And Sachin Tendulkar has his say on India's heartbreaking performance. Let's not judge Team India by this one. Top story. Polling wound up today for the high-stakes battle in Himachal Pradesh. The BJP is eyeing a historic second consecutive term, and they're banking on Prime Minister Modi, insisting that continuity is key to development. The Congress says this election is about local issues. Will the BJP succumb to the Himalayan states' rivaj or tradition of changing the government every 5 years, of voting against the incumbent? The answer lies with the voters in Himachal Pradesh, who recorded a turnout of 66% on polling day today.
Braving snow and difficult conditions, voting in Lahaul and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Equally enthusiastic were the polling officials. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur, who is appealing to people to break the norm and not vote for a change, visited a temple in the morning.
The rival factor निश्चित रूप से थोड़ा बहुत रहता है, लेकिन अब की बार मैं देख रहा हूँ कि इम्पैक्ट नहीं उसका। कारण उसका यह है कि कैंपेन फोकस थी। डबल इंजन की सरकार, फिर से भाजपा की सरकार, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और सारी चीजें जिस प्रकार से आगे बढ़ी हैं, तो उस तरफ ध्यान लोगों का गया नहीं। अंततः तो आज जब वोटिंग वाले दिन भी मैं देखूंगा, मुझे ये दिख रहा है कि लोग जब वोट डालने के लिए जाएंगे तो सामने नरेंद्र मोदी जी, सामने कमल का फूल, डबल इंजन की सरकार, यही चीज होगी देख रहे हैं।
After the death of six-time Chief Minister Vidarbha Singh, Pratibha Singh, who is leading the Congress in Himachal Pradesh, is confident the Congress's poll promises will convince people.
When we went into the field, obviously without Veerbhadra Singh's face, without him not being there, it was a very, very difficult task for us also. But with times, everything settled down and people accepted that he's no more. But they look forward that it is his family, his legacy. They've done it earlier also. Now also we have hope that Congress will do the work and they will deliver whatever promises we have said. So that faith is there, and I feel that the common man will definitely vote for Congress this time.
Union Minister and MP from Hamirpur, Anurag Thakur, who got emotional many times in the campaign, arrived to vote with his father, Prem Kumar Dhumal.
That it is the Congress party who was in power in 2004 in centre as well as in state, who introduced the new pension scheme and rolled back the old pension scheme. So the onus is on the Congress party.
At Dhumal's stronghold in once a power centre, Hamirpur, also known as Veerbhumi, the Agnipat scheme and the old pension scheme for government employees, a huge chunk of the electorate here, are major poll issues.
The youth also actively participated in the Himachal elections and openly put forth their issues.
मेन है बेरोजगारी, जो यंगस्टर हैं हमारे, जो स्पोर्ट्स में भी अच्छे हैं, सब अच्छे हैं, लेकिन अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है उनके पास कि कोई ऐसी भर्ती में या कोई ऐसा कोई आर्मी में।
शिक्षा तो हमीरपुर पहले नंबर रहता है, शिक्षा की में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, शिक्षा के यहाँ पे सारे इंस्टीट्यूट मैक्सिमम हैं। बेरोजगार की है दिक्कत, बेरोजगारी ज़्यादा हो गई है, युवाओं में रोजगार नहीं है, भर्तियां नहीं हो रही हैं, सरकारी पोस्टें नहीं कर रही हैं, उसकी भी प्रॉब्लम हुई है।
Himachal elections are important for BJP and as well as Congress. For BJP, because this is home state of their party president JP Nadda. His prestige is on stake because rebels are blaming JP Nadda for their rebellion. And for Congress, because they've lost many elections. To go to Lok Sabha elections in 2024, if they win Himachal Pradesh, then their workers will have some confidence. And if they lose, then their morale is going to be low. In Himachal Pradesh with Vedant and Ashok Mahale, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
All right, on left, right and centre, will the winds of change blow across Himachal Pradesh, or can the BJP beat incumbency? The state has had a 4-decade tradition of voting out the incumbent. Joining us, Alka Lamba, spokesperson of the Congress, Priyanka Kakkar, AAP spokesperson, and PKD Nambiar, political analyst and a BJP supporter. Ms. Nambiar, to you first, state elections are about local issues as opposed to national issues. Those are for national elections, that is politics 101. But here in Himachal Pradesh, you have the BJP fighting on the Prime Minister's face. Sachin Pilot says if the BJP had confidence in itself, then these tall leaders would not have to be roped in for this election, a sign that the BJP was in trouble.
See, if you really look at it, BJP is the only party which has got a tall leader like Narendra Modi. When you have such a tall leader and a biggest brand ambassador for the party, why shouldn't they use it? One. Secondly, over the last 8 years, they have been talking about a double engine sarkar, which you have, we have seen that result of that even in Himachal with the aims coming in, the road infrastructure becoming one of the best so far. You have never seen such kind of a development in the road infrastructure in the hill states, both in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Despite the Chief Minister losing in Uttarakhand, and the entire media was talking about that, yes, it's going on, Congress is going to come back. But you have seen that the tradition has been broken and BJP came back to the power. So same is going to happen in Himachal Pradesh too. Another part is that this time, if you are seeing, whatever we are talking about, this anti-incumbency. Traditionally, in the last 40 years of election trend, if you really look at it, that if there is an anti-incumbency, a strong anti-incumbency or anti-wave against the government, then what would have happened? There would have been a turnout, would have been much more. Maybe it could have gone to 70, 75 or 80. But whereas it has come down as far as the current the data which we have, that means as compared to the last election to this election, the voter turnout is also come down. That means there is no anti-incumbency. And predominantly, I think I was still in the morning in your show NDTV, I was feeling that it is a neck fight. But today, when the election is out, I can really tell you that it is more of like a one-sided game.
All right. Well, I don't know what it says about federalism if you have development only if there's a double engine sarkar, and does that mean, is it a threat that there is no development if you, like the centre will not cooperate or only cooperates with states that have their own party in power? But I want to go across to Alka Lamba. Let's try and fix PKD Nambiar's audio. Maybe you can log off and log in, PKD. Alka Lamba, but ironically, on one hand, you talk about central leadership, strong leaders from the centre being bought in. On the Congress, on the other hand, the central leadership seems to have been missing. Rahul Gandhi skipping Himachal mostly to be with the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And I ask this because, this is a crucial time. These Himachal Pradesh elections are coming ahead of 9 state elections due next year. And the Congress needs a psychological win to fire up cadres.
सारा ये सच्चाई सब जानते हैं कि श्री राहुल गांधी जी कोई भी चुनाव स्किप नहीं कर रहे। सब जानते हैं 7 सितंबर से भारत जोड़ो यात्रा चल रही है और जो मुद्दा हिमाचल का है, जो मुद्दा गुजरात का है, वही मुद्दे भारत जोड़ो में बने हुए हैं। बेरोजगारी, महंगाई, गिरती अर्थव्यवस्था, गिरता रुपया, धार्मिक उन्माद, इसलिए भारत जोड़ रहे हैं और उसका असर सीधा हिमाचल में आपको देखने को मिलेगा। सारा मैं 100 दिन वहां रही हूं, पूरे 100 दिन करके 10 तारीख को लौटी हूं। 12 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में से 10 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में घूमी, 2 डिस्ट्रिक्ट किन्नौर जहां 1 सीट आती है, लाहौल स्पीति जहां 1 सीट आती है, सिर्फ वहां नहीं जा पाई। इस आधार पर कह रही हूं हम जीत रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि अभी आपने मुख्यमंत्री जयराम ठाकुर जी को सुना, उन्होंने कहा मोदी जी सामने थे, जयराम ठाकुर जी सामने क्यों नहीं थे? क्योंकि सबसे कमजोर चेहरा साबित हो रहे थे। तो अंत में जो चुनाव है वो जयराम ठाकुर जी का चेहरा हटाकर प्रधानमंत्री तक ले आए। हमारी कोशिश ये थी कि मुद्दा चेहरा ना हो, मुद्दा वहां के मुद्दे जो आप भी दिखा रहे थे। सबसे पहला मुद्दा ओपीएस, ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम को लागू करना। हमारा उसमें क्या था? पहली गारंटी, पहली कैबिनेट मीटिंग, पहली मोहर ओपीएस पे, पहले 10 दिन में बैंक खातों में पैसा आएगा। दूसरा, 10 लाख बेरोजगारों की सौगात है वहां पर। हमने क्या कहा? हमने कहा कि पहले 1 साल में 1 लाख सरकारी पद जो खाली हैं हम उसे भरेंगे। महंगाई पर मुद्दा रहा तीसरा सबसे बड़ा महिलाओं के बीच में, 1150 का उज्ज्वला सिलेंडर सब्सिडी बंद। हमने कहा हम घर घर लक्ष्मी के तहत 1500 रुपए आर्थिक मदद इस महंगाई से लड़ने के लिए देंगे, वो हो रहा। सेब बागवान उचित दाम नहीं, जीएसटी 12 से 18% कर दिया गया, सब्सिडी बंद कर दी गई। हमने कहा सेब बागवान तय करेगा उचित दाम क्या होगा, हम सब्सिडी बढ़ने जीएसटी बढ़ने नहीं देंगे।
Okay.
ये मुद्दे रहे, लेकिन भाजपा की जो कोशिश
All right, so PKD Nambiar, the point is mudda. What is the mudda? First of all, the mudda they're saying is missing for the BJP, and then what muddas are put forward, let's discuss them. In Gujarat, you have a Naroda Partia riot case, convict's daughter getting a BJP ticket to fight the Gujarat polls. Himachal Pradesh, very different. There's only 2% Muslims over here. So the, the Hindutva platform that the BJP normally runs elections on may not work in Himachal Pradesh, perhaps this time. So these, the mudda of Ram Mandir promises, that's probably not going to resonate. The BJP government says they'll implement uniform civil code in a state election here in Himachal Pradesh, promising to investigate into the Waqf properties and alleged illegal usages. How does that resonate with the voter in Himachal Pradesh?
It does. I'll tell you the reason. The reason there is a perception, some of the media try to create that BJP always go to the elections through the Hindutva agenda or the Hindu phase.
Has that been proven here? But in this state, especially when there's only 2% Muslims, given these 3 points that I just mentioned?
Does that, how does that matter? Why do we need to divide that? It is not, see, there is a perception now we need to change forever. That it is minority does not mean that it's all about Muslims. Secondly, in many states in this country, the Muslims are not a minority. For an example, our own state, in Kerala, Muslims are hardly any minority. In Jammu and Kashmir, they are not a minority.
PKD Nambiar, I'm talking about the BJP manifesto in Himachal Pradesh. Why does it emphasize these 3 points, for example?
No, one is uniform civil code. This has been this is not something new which BJP is talking about. BJP has been talking about uniform civil code at least ever since 40 years. I know when I was a 4 or 5 year old kid, then onwards I am listening to.
Elections.
Secondly,
where are the local issues?
Of course, any assembly elections will always be fought on the local agenda. Along with the party which is contesting, they have their own ideological backup to fight an election. Otherwise, how will you get back to the power? BJP is a cadre-based party, and the most of the cadres are ideologically connected. So they go with that history. So what we need to look at it that from the point of view of the development, whatever government was promised before coming to power, have they been able to do it? I think to an extent they have done it.
I'll come back to you. 1 second.
Which will go for it.
All right. But, well, if the BJP does win, then after this, it would be purely on development. Then it'll be the issue of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, perhaps. But let me bring in the AAP over here. We have Priyanka Kakkar. Priyanka, it's a crucial test for the BJP. They hope to beat precedent. They want to return to power. It's also a crucial test for the Congress. They're looking for an electoral revival. But AAP in the middle of this seems to have lost steam somehow, and this seems to have become a two-party battle because you're really focusing more on Gujarat, which is a bigger prize.
Sarah, good evening to all of you. Sarah, we are working equally hard at MCD election and Gujarat and Himachal, and let the results speak for themselves. But
and
Sarah,
is that why Himachal has taken a lower priority? Because you're right, absolutely right. You have the Gujarat elections. At the same time, you have the MCD elections thrust at you, and there's only one Arvind Kejriwal. He can only spread himself this thin.
Sarah will do reasonably well even at Himachal. Let me assure you of that. And why I say this, when you played the ground report of a person who asked what the mudda was, he said unemployment. Surely he could not be talking about Congress because Rajasthan has the highest unemployment in the country. Surely he could not be talking about the BJP. You know, I was listening to the BJP supporter and I don't know if he's the right person to be questioned, but I'll still try it. You know, he reminded me of the speech made by PM Sir during the Amrit Mahotsav, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav that was celebrated on 15th August this year, where he said that people must support BJP on two core issues, one being corruption and the other being Parivarwad. Now look at Himachal Pradesh, what has BJP done? You know, they have given tickets to all the sons of the incumbent cabinet ministers, to wives and daughters of sitting and previous legislators, to name a few: Rajat Thakur, Chetan Bratta, Anil Dhimman, Anil Sharma, Maya Sharma, Neelam Nair, Govind Singh Thakurji. These are the few names. Then again, if you look at, if this is the attack on Parivarwad, they are saying, what is the attack on corruption? We look at Morbi. In Morbi, they Till date, we do not know who was the officer who gave a contract without a tender and is not named in the FIR. We don't know who that person was. We don't know why the Oreva company Malik was not arrested after a clear form of corruption has taken 150 lives. So where is the attack? Neither on Parivarwad, neither on corruption. And people, now Arvind Kejriwalji's model presents a very fair model of social and economic development. That is what we are taking everywhere. You vote for us, you will get free electricity, free schooling, free health services.
AAP has been saying no double engine Sarkar, they just need a completely new engine over here.
That is correct.
PK Rambiar, quick response before I go back to Alka Lamba.
First and foremost is this Parivarwad which we have been hearing. What is Parivarwad is actually all about? That is inheritance. For an example, Veerabhadra Singh was the 6th-time chief minister and his wife becoming chief ministerial candidate. That is called as Parivarwad.
What
that
is
called as Parivarwad.
What is Rajat Thakur, sir?
My statement. It's Sara, so I don't, fight. So I am only saying that if it is Parivarwad means that does not mean that if my son tomorrow or Sara's son tomorrow wanted to become an anchor again, so that is not a Parivarwad. If it is on its own capability
Sir, your
and
Jal
capacity,
Shakti minister got a ticket in Himachal.
Arey ma'am, can I ask you, where is Yogendra Yadav, where is Prashant Bhushan, where is Ashutosh, where is...
Don't divert,
where is...
How are you attacking corruption?
Autocratic...
How are you attacking corruption in Morbi? How are you attacking corruption?
Sending a private limited company.
By putting the security guards
the people like Aam Aadmi Party have no right, even they don't even understand what is democracy. Tell me how many founding members of the party is still there with the party. Can you tell me that how many founding members of your party is still there with you? I can name you at least top 10 leaders. Where is Ashish Khaitan? Where is Ashutosh? Where is Kumar Vishwas? So don't tell me that you wanted to run a private limited company.
Where is corruption, sir? Morbi, do you see the corruption?
Okay, 1 second. I want to stick on the topic over here. Alka Lamba, in the middle of all of this, even though AAP admits that they are kind of stretched thin by Gujarat and the MCD polls, the point is, and the problem for the Congress is that they have actually fielded candidates in all 64 constituencies in Himachal Pradesh. So they will be eating into the anti-BJP vote. That means basically eating into the Congress vote.
सारा बीजेपी ने पूरी कोशिश की थी शुरू में कि आम आदमी पार्टी उत्तराखंड गोवा की तरह कांग्रेस के वोट डिवाइड करे और जयराम ठाकुर जी बिल्कुल नहीं चाहते थे कि अनुराग ठाकुर रात को 12 बजे बीजेपी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी को उठाएं और पूरी आम आदमी पार्टी को भाजपा में मर्ज करवा दे। ये जयराम ठाकुर जी और अनुराग ठाकुर की लग गई थी इसमें, क्योंकि जयराम ठाकुर जी को लग रहा था कि नहीं इनके रहने से हमें फायदा हो रहा है, लेकिन धूमल जी की एक लड़ाई थी कि इनका पैकअप हो गया और इनका फोकस पूरा गुजरात चला गया। डायरेक्ट फाइट हुई उपचुनाव, मंडी लोकसभा 3 विधानसभा। डायरेक्ट फाइट में हमने चारों, एक लोकसभा और 3 विधानसभा में बीजेपी को हराया। यहां पर भी जो मेन इलेक्शन है सीधी फाइट बीजेपी और कांग्रेस में हम पूर्ण बहुमत से जीत रहे हैं। आपने सही कहा, इनका मैनिफेस्टो उठाइए। पहला बिंदु यूनिफॉर्म कॉमन सिविल कोड, 10वां बिंदु वक्फ बोर्ड की जमीनें। 2% वोट नहीं है हिमाचल में माइनॉरिटी का, और उसके बाद 370 आर्टिकल पर पूरा हिमाचल पटा हुआ था। प्रधानमंत्री जी की फोटो, कश्मीर मुद्दे पर हिमाचल में चुनाव हो रहा था। अगर हमारी चुनौती थी दम हो तो 370 पर 90 कश्मीरी पंडितों की हत्या हुई, उस पे कश्मीर में जम्मू में चुनाव करके दिखाइए। तो इनकी कोशिश पूरी रही हिमाचल के मुद्दों से भटकाकर राष्ट्रीय अंतरराष्ट्रीय मुद्दों पर लाए, जयराम ठाकुर जी से प्रधानमंत्री जी के लाए। लेकिन कांग्रेस ने राजीव शुक्ला जी और भूपेश बघेल मुख्यमंत्री छत्तीसगढ़ की सराहना करूंगी, पूरे समय हमें यही कहते रहे, क्योंकि 125 से अधिक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस मैंने की, पूरा हिमाचल घुमा। हमारा ये था कि हम भाजपा को हिमाचल के मुद्दों से भटकने नहीं देंगे, घेरेंगे और यही जवाबदेही तय करेंगे कि बेरोजगारी, महंगाई, अग्निपथ भर्ती जैसे ठेके की योजनाएं हो, सेब बागवानों के साथ होता अन्याय हो, सरकारी कर्मचारियों को ना मिलती हुई पेंशन, और फैसला इसी पर हो रहा है। और अभी मैं बता रही, चुनाव खत्म हो गया सारा, एक अभी मेरे पास ट्वीट आया है, मैसेज पार्टी ऑफिस से, रामपुर विधानसभा में निजी गाड़ी में ईवीएम पाई गई है। खेल तो अब शुरू हो गया है, इसलिए चुनाव आयोग को तुरंत पत्र लिखा गया है। मैंने भी सारे सबूत वहां का जो हमारा मीडिया है हिमाचल का उसमें भी डाला, आप मेरा ट्वीट चेक कर सकते हैं। अब चुनाव हो गया, पोल हो गया, लेकिन अब ये जो खेल शुरू हो रहा है कि निजी गाड़ियों में ईवीएम का पाया जाना, मुझे लगता है अब चुनाव आयोग की साख पर सवाल खड़ा होगा। अगर आपने इतने हल्के में लिया हर बार की तरह कि ये तो ये ईवीएम थी, यूज नहीं थी, वोट नहीं था, कुछ भी हो, पर ईवीएम का सरकारी संपत्तियों का निजी गाड़ियों में पाया जाना वोट के बाद, मुझे लगता है कि एक बड़ा खेल शुरू हो चुका है जो लोकतंत्र की हमेशा
the answers will be out on the 8th, but I want to give PKD Nambiar a quick 30-second response before we move on to the other big story of the day.
Whatever Alkaji just said, that clearly gives a feeling that the Congress already started feeling the heat of that they are going to lose this this battle one
आप
day.
लोकतंत्र की हत्या कर
because
रहे हैं।
the reason being that whenever
ईवीएम दिखाया गया है निजी गाड़ी में, इस पे कुछ
Punjab,
बोलेंगे, इस पे कुछ बोलेंगे कि हाँ केंद्र सरकार चुनाव आयोग इसकी जिम्मेदारी ले, सच्चाई का पता लगाए कि अलका लांबा लाइव चैनल पर इतना बड़ा आरोप लगा रही है, उसकी जांच होनी चाहिए।
मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ जहाँ पे आप हारते हो तब हारने का आपको
यूं ही हल्के में नहीं
तब
जा
आपको
सकती।
लगता है कि
चुनाव आयोग अगर सुन रहा हो, रामपुर
जहाँ पे आप जीतते हो तो आपको
हिमाचल में अभी गाड़ी का नंबर भी मैं बता रही हूँ।
All right. Thank you so much. The answer is now in the hands of the voters. We will see what happens on the 8th of December. But despite that fierce rivalry, as you can see, between the Congress and the BJP on our channel and everywhere on the ground across the country, take a look at this viral video. Amidst election heat, there is this viral video that's going viral, and it's showing some sporting spirit. You have a BJP campaign vehicle stuck in the sand, pulled out by a Congress's party's campaign vehicle, and you can see the pictures plastered on both of these vehicles of different parties, but they're being helped, and clearly the drivers are indifferent to the politics of both these parties. And of course, there's been a lot of reaction on this on social media, many of it humorous. I'm just going to point out what the AAP has been saying. The AAP has been alleging that the BJP and Congress, they play friendly matches, and they've been sharing this video of these mini trucks towing each other away to prove this point that they've been making. You have mini trucks decked with Congress campaign boards pulling out one another, another truck pasted with the BJP publicity material on a muddy roadside in Gujarat. All right, and finally the other big story of the day, a day after 6 convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, the case of the assassination of the former Prime Minister of the country, the day after they were freed by the Supreme Court in a ruling. After 31 years in jail, 3 of the accused, Nalini Sriharan, her husband Murugan and Santhan, they were released this evening after a brief visit to the Vellore jail to complete formalities. Nalini this morning visited a local police station to mark her presence as a part of parole conditions. She, speaking to the press afterwards, said this is a new lease of life for her. She no longer wants to be in public life anymore.
மறக்காம இருந்த தமிழ் உள்ளங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிஞ்சு ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் எங்களுக்காக உதவி செஞ்ச எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட நன்றியை நான் தெரிவிச்சுக்கிறேன். மத்திய அரசு மாநில அரசு இருவருக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். பொது வாழ்க்கைக்கு வர விரும்பல. நான் வந்து ஒரு குடும்ப தலைவியா தான் இருக்க போறேன். என்னோட குடும்பம், என்னோட குழந்தை, என்னோட கணவர், இவ்வளவுதான் என்னோட வாழ்க்கை. உங்க மகள் கிட்ட பேசுனீங்களா? உங்க மகள் என்ன சொல்லிருக்காங்க? இங்க வராங்களா இல்ல நீங்க அங்க போறீங்களா? நாளைக்கு நீங்க எல்லாம் அங்க வந்துருங்கப்பா, நம்ம பேசுவோம். சென்னைக்கு கண்டிப்பா வாங்க எல்லாரும். எல்லாரோடையும் சந்திப்போம். நாளைக்கு வந்து பிரஸ் மீட் சென்னையில வச்சிருக்காங்கங்க. நம்ம எல்லாரும் சந்திப்போம் திரும்ப. சரிங்களா? அவங்க சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்ல இருந்து லாயர்ஸ்லாம் வந்திருக்காங்க டெல்லியில இருந்து. அவங்க எல்லாரும் உங்களை எல்லாரையும் சந்திக்க விரும்புறாங்க. அவங்க கூட எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த நன்றி.
Initial reaction is each and every person of our family is very happy, and we were very delighted about that unexpected judgment. She is very happy. She is going to live with her family. What is your
are you planning to meet Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin anytime soon?
To thank him.
Personally.
We will try to get his appointment. After that, definitely we will thank him.
Thank you for joining us on Left, Right and Centre. That's the news at this hour. Stay tuned to NDTV for constant updates.
QSMT on match off रुकावट के लिए खेद है meeting on a game off.
What's going on? Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में हर पल पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
Legacy is often seen as a burden of expectations. It comes with its own set of challenges. The challenge to take it forward, challenge to reimagine, challenge to be in the present, and also challenge to think about the future.
What accountability are you talking about?
As long as the core values and principles remain uncompromised. Debates are essential not just for journalism, but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 22 years old, but it is young at 22.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
सच दिखाते हैं ताकि दुनिया के बाजार में आजादी सस्ती न बिक जाए. कुर्सी पे बैठने वालों को जमीन की अहमियत याद रहे. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि पैसे की चमक से कभी हुनर ना पड़े फीका. खुदगर्जी खोखला न बना दे सोचने का तरीका. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि अच्छे विचार और आदर्श बस किताबी बातें ना रह जाएं.
चुनौतियां काफी ज्यादा हैं, बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं.
एक बेहतर कल चाहते हैं हम, इसलिए सच दिखाते हैं हम. NDTV इंडिया, जुबान पे सच, दिल में इंडिया.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient from thousands of miles away. None of this was possible
till technology stepped in and made it possible. A selection of the finest stories from across the country where technology comes with a human touch.
Unleash your dreams with Snapdragon in collaboration with NDTV, only on the NDTV network.
Unless it is the essence of India, of diversity and tolerance. Unless it reveals the wealth of nations and silences the barrel of a gun.
You're watching Truth versus Hype. We are in Nanded, Maharashtra, along with Rajiv Gandhi and the Congress Party's Bharat Jodo Yatra. It's now been 60 days and they've roughly reached the halfway mark of the 1,500 kilometer yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. As good a time as any to examine the ground reality of the claims being made by the Congress. Is this a resurrection of brand Rahul and India's beleaguered lead opposition party? And also to lift the curtains and take you behind the scenes of how a yatra like this is organized. How are these crowds being mobilized? How are all those videos being generated that is flooding social media? It's the anatomy and the ground focus of this yatra that we'll bring out on Truth versus Hype. On the road to the Bharat Jodo Yatra at the break of dawn. Start time every day, 6 a.m. The first thing one sees are Jairam, Ramesh and Digvijaya Singh, the advance guard of the Yatra. Then marching bands. Then schoolgirls rehearsing the traditional Maharashtra dance of Lezium. Then the crowds. And then Rahul Gandhi. We will now give you a sense of what it is like for a journalist to cover the Bharat Jodo Yatra. We are now going to be taken inside what is called the D of the Yatra. And this is now how it is working for the media to cover the Yatra. You'll see Rahul Gandhi there behind you, but we have to keep this kind of distance with the volunteers telling us constantly that we have to keep moving. And the design of this is as follows, that Rahul Gandhi keeps walking. There are people on the side. He stops and meets some of them impromptu. But at the same time, behind the Yatra are many others who are also following. And they from time to time are brought to the front of the Yatra to walk alongside Rahul Gandhi. And that is what is yielding some of those photo ops you see of Rahul Gandhi interacting with different individuals, which is, of course, maybe making for wonderful optics for the Congress, but it still raises the question as to what this Yatra is all about.
हम जोड़ेंगे, हम जोड़ेंगे।
माता की जय।
Hundreds of kilometers away, a crucial election in Gujarat is unfolding. But the Yatra route comes nowhere close to Gujarat.
I am getting support from individuals. That is much more powerful than 500,000 people.
The Congress has gone blue in the face, saying this is not an election-winning Yatra.
Objective, as I have stated again and again, is to bring India together. Objective from my perspective is not 24 election. I am seeing that India is being divided, violence is being spread in our society, and this is damaging for our country.
Unlike other Padyatras which sometimes use a mix of driving and walking, Rahul Gandhi reportedly insisted that he will only walk the entire duration of this journey. Now, this means that they can only get to cover about an average of 20 kilometers a day in 2 sessions, 10 kilometers in the morning and 10 in the evening. This is slow going, and it means, for example, that they will end up spending close to 5 days in just this one district we are in Nanded. Once again, to underscore the Congress's point that this is not just about narrow political goals, but about lofty ideals. But isn't there a fundamental contradiction in the Yatra's goals? If the Congress aim is to unite India, then surely the goal should be to politically defeat the BJP, which, as per the Congress, is dividing India. You are, in a sense, talking of Bharat Jodo. I put this to Digvijay Singh, the head of the Yatra committee. Your argument is that this rising sense of fear, insecurity, divisions, your allegation is because of the BJP.
Absolutely, yes.
So then my question is, when the Congress says this is not an election Jeeto Yatra,
yes,
this is a Bharat Jodo Yatra,
yes.
Surely then the answer is that you have to defeat the BJP electorally to unite. Then how can you say it's not an election?
Once the message goes and people come out to speak and speak out, and that the element of fear from their mind of persecution is removed, half the battle is won.
You don't think it's a massive deployment of energy and resources without a political goal? That's not a mistake, that you are a political party, you're not an NGO?
Everything should not be seen through the lenses of politics. After all, there are national issues also, after national concern also. How long will we be able to continue like this? The way the constitution is being compromised, the way the constitutional position, statutory bodies are being compromised. Innocent people are being harassed, and the moment they join BJP, all their
troubles go away. So what is the Yatra achieving? an image makeover for Rahul Gandhi? Digvijaya claims this isn't about one leader. But as far as Rahul's own image is concerned and what this is doing to his image and how he's perceived by people, what do you see as the most significant outcome coming out of this yatra?
He's proving everyone wrong.
He's proving everyone wrong. In what sense?
The kind of perception that was built around him.
Okay, as someone who's not a serious politician, as someone who's missing in action.
Absolutely, yes. Tell me one person who will do it.
A yatra like this?
Would Mr. Narendra Modi do it? Would Mr. Amit Shah do it? Or for that matter, any BJP leader would do it.
Is it a Rahul Gandhi yatra or a Congress yatra?
It is a Congress party yatra of which Rahul Gandhi is a prominent face.
He's the main face. His images are there everywhere in all the posters, social media, everywhere.
It is not AICC which is putting up this. This is the party, this is the local party leaders who are putting it up.
The claim that Rahul Gandhi is just one amongst many yatris is of course not the case. He is front and center in all the branding online and offline. Yet one could see the Congress make an effort to rope in a kind of Noah's Ark of social causes along the route. आप लोग कांग्रेस के वर्कर हैं या आप पब्लिक हैं कौन मतलब जैसे
हम एकल महिला संगठन में काम करते हैं एकल महिला संगठन में काम करते हैं
एकल महिला संघ अच्छा एकल महिला संघ
एकल महिला संगठन
अच्छा ये संगठन क्या करता है
ये विधवा महिलाओं की समस्या का हल करता है
विधवा समस्या का हल करता है आप उससे जुड़े हुए हैं अच्छा तो आप ये इनका समर्थन करने आए हैं अच्छा क्यों क्या वजह है क्या अच्छा लगा यहाँ का
हमको अच्छा लगा इसलिए
अच्छा लगा तो आप राहुल गांधी को भी देखने आए हैं या सपोर्ट करने आए हैं
सपोर्ट करने आए हम 100% सपोर्ट करने आए हैं
आप सब भी सपोर्ट करेंगे
करेंगे
आप सब इसी संगठन से काम करते हैं
सब इसी संगठन के हैं
अच्छा
हम सब उसका साथ देंगे
Here are a group of Congress student activists seeking justice for Rohit Vemula. In Karnataka, relatives of the slain journalist Gauri Lankesh walked alongside Rahul Gandhi. Even former critics of the Congress have turned up, said to be inspired by the message of Bharat Jodo. But when we spoke to crowds lining the route, most see the yatra as a political event that will lead to the comeback of Rahul Gandhi. आप सब लोग कहाँ से आए यहीं से हैं कहाँ से नांदेड़ से अच्छा क्या किसको देखने आए क्या मिला राहुल गांधी जी को मिलने आए हैं राहुल क्यों राहुल गांधी क्यों अच्छा देश के बड़े नेता है अभी राहुल गांधी को देखने आए अच्छा
जिनकी ये देश में 60 साल सत्ता थी
अभी वो सरकार बनना राहुल गांधी का सरकार होना ही इसके वास्ते आए पीएम कौन बनना चाहिए पीएम राहुल गांधी पीएम बनना
कांग्रेस
नहीं वो तो ठीक है लेकिन कांग्रेस का तो हालत बहुत खराब चल रहा है अभी तो लोकसभा चुनाव में महाराष्ट्र चुनाव में
कांग्रेस भी आएगी नहीं राहुल गांधी पीएम बनेंगे
कैसे बनेंगे आप बताइए पिछली बार तो उनको 50 सीट भी नहीं मिल पाए
अगले साल 300 को पार हो जाएंगे राहुल गांधी 300 को पार देश बढ़ाने में कांग्रेस ही आगे है पहले से सत्ता उनकी है उन्होंने जो
60 साल में अभी पूछ रहे हैं सब लोग अभी वो बीजेपी वाले प्रचार कर रहे हैं कि 60 साल में बीजेपी कांग्रेस ने क्या किया है जो कांग्रेस ने किए वाला है वही बेच के अभी बीजेपी वाले खा रहे हैं हम राहुल गांधी को देखना है लेकिन उससे बेहतर उनसे ये जानने के लिए है कि इससे बेहतर इन्हें क्या कर सकते हैं जो बीजेपी ने यहाँ पे एजेंडा चलाया है लोगों को बेवकूफ बनाने का वो बेहतरीन बनाने के लिए राहुल गांधी जी ने जो भारत जोड़ो अभियान जुड़ा है
आप सब कांग्रेस के वर्कर हैं आम पब्लिक है कौन
आम पब्लिक है कांग्रेस के लिए काम करना यहाँ से कांग्रेस के लिए काम कर रहे हैं
ये सब पब्लिक है
किसान है
सब किसान लोग हैं आप क्या करते हैं
खेती करते हैं
आप कहाँ से हैं कौन सा गांव से हैं
लोगांव फाटे में है
नौगांव कितना दूर है यहाँ से
नजदीकी है
नजदीक है 5 किलोमीटर अच्छा आप क्यों आए इधर
राहुल बाबा से मिलने के लिए आए थे देखने आए थे हम
राहुल बाबा को देखने आए थे, देखा राहुल बाबा को?
नहीं दिखाई नहीं, भीड़ में नहीं
देख पाए?
नहीं देख पाए।
आप देख पाए राहुल बाबा को?
थोड़ा देखा, ज्यादा नहीं दिखे।
थोड़ा देखा।
मेरे को तो दिखाई नहीं सर।
आप कैसे आए इधर? आपको कोई लेके आया? कैसा आया आप?
मैं जाई, हम ही जाए खुद पैदल।
आप ही पैदल होके आए?
पैदल ही पैदल आए।
अच्छा, क्यों देखना चाहते हैं आप राहुल बाबा को?
देखने जाते हैं, बहुत दिन हो गए, अब ऐसी मजबूरी है तो देखना अच्छा रहता है भारत के लिए। हाँ।
ये आपका बेटा है? अच्छा, आपको राहुल बाबा को क्यों देखने आए आप? क्या अच्छा लगता है?
दिल से हमारा तमन्ना है, बाबा को देखेंगे, बात करेंगे, अपना परेशानी सुनाएंगे।
अच्छा,
उसके लिए आए।
आप हमेशा से राहुल को पसंद करते हैं?
हाँ, पसंद करते हैं हम लोग राहुल।
आप भी?
हाँ, करते।
अच्छा, क्यों? क्या अच्छा लगता है राहुल में?
सब कुछ अच्छा लगता है, सबके लिए भला करता है, उसके लिए हमको भी भला लगता है, देखने चाहते हैं।
कांग्रेस को अभी यहाँ पीछे चल रहा है ना, महाराष्ट्र में नंबर 4 पे आया था लास्ट टाइम, अभी तो सबसे आगे तो पीछे चल रहा है।
अभी फर्स्ट आएगा अभी फर्स्ट आएगा, एक नंबर आएगा कांग्रेस। मोदी का एक नंबर में आएगा, एक नंबर पे आएगा। हाँ, एक नंबर। मोदी का जुमला था, कांग्रेस वापस एक नंबर पे आएगा।
ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं आप? क्या चेंज क्या हो गया?
अभी इसके लिए तो राहुल ये खुद बाहर आए हैं, इसके लिए।
इसलिए आपको विश्वास है?
यस। महंगाई 1200 को गया, इतना महंगाई हो गया।
भारत जोड़ो और ये एकता और अखंडता का मैसेज है राहुल गांधी का, और ये सब धर्मों को एक साथ लेके चलने वाला कांग्रेस पार्टी है, कोई जात भेद का नहीं है, और ये अपना संविधान को लेके चलने वाला देश है, कोई नफरत फैलाने वाला देश नहीं।
आपका नाम क्या है?
इमरान।
अच्छा, लेकिन एक बताइए, ये जो बता रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी तो वैसे दिखते, इस बार तो आए मैदान में, लेकिन बाकी टाइम सारा कहीं दिखते नहीं है, एब्सेंट रहते हैं, गायब रहते हैं।
एब्सेंट मीडिया में ही रहते हैं, सिर्फ सिर्फ मीडिया में रहते हैं, देश में तो वो एकदम टॉप पे।
Almost all of them, however, are already Congress supporters. आप सब लोग किसको पहले वोट करते थे?
राहुल गांधी
नहीं, हमेशा कांग्रेस
पक्ष।
पहले किसी बीजेपी वगैरह को नहीं देते?
नहीं, ये तो बाद में आया।
आप लोग हमेशा से कांग्रेस में रह चुके हैं?
पहले से कांग्रेस
पूरा टाइम? आप में से किसी ने बीजेपी को वोट किया है लास्ट टाइम? कोई वोट नहीं किया है, तो सब कांग्रेस के सपोर्टर्स है इधर। मोदी जी का कोई यहाँ फैन नहीं है?
नहीं है सर, ओनली राहुल गांधी।
मोदी जी का कोई फैन नहीं है।
मोदी जी अच्छा नहीं है?
नहीं, अच्छा नहीं है।
क्यों?
ये बेरोजगारी, ये इसीलिए अच्छा नहीं है वो।
आप लोग पहले से कांग्रेस को वोट करते थे?
हाँ सर, हम पहले से कांग्रेस।
तो आप में से एक सेकंड, अरे धक्का नहीं, आप में से कोई पहले कभी बीजेपी को वोट करता था?
कांग्रेस को वोट करिए, कांग्रेस।
This kind of galvanizing of the Congress's base is of course important because the party has been demoralized for a long time. But it's important to remember that if the game is to change hearts and minds, then the Congress needs to go beyond the faithful. Even if the Congress does manage to sway some fence-sitters, converting them into votes does require organizational strength. And this yatra, in a sense, if one looks at these crowds that have been mobilized, if one looks at the flyover papered with posters of the Congress party in the town of Nanded, shows you that the yatra is also a demonstration of the Congress's both organizational strength and spending power, something that is constantly underestimated. No better example of the Congress's organizational skills than this Bharat Jodo floating container city that we come across on the highway in Nanded. To give you a behind-the-scenes glimpse of how the Bharat Jodo Yatra and how the Congress has organized this Bharat Jodo Yatra, this huge caravan of people that is moving across the country, look at this huge convoy of containers which are basically serving as mobile homes for the members of the Yatra, the leaders of the Yatra, as well as those who are regularly marching alongside it. So now we are inside the mini container floating township of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, this parking lot of a banquet space in Nanded has been turned into the resting place for these containers for the duration of this leg of the Yatra. And what we are told by the Congress is that there are a total of 60 such containers which can house about 300 people who are traveling all the time with the Yatra. This includes Rahul Gandhi, who stays in a container very much like this, as well as his aides, senior Congress leaders, some of the core Yatras, members, Yatris, as well as a floating ecosystem of people who have to keep this whole thing going, wrap it up every night, and then shift it to the next location. And what we're told by the Congress is that these containers were specifically designed for this Yatra by a private vendor that they contracted, and that to them this is something that hasn't been done before, that you have seen containers being used stationary as temporary housing on construction sites and so on, but to put so many containers on trucks and take it across the country for a political Yatra is perhaps something they say is being done for the very first time. We are now going to get a glimpse of inside one of these container quote-unquote homes. Vaibhav from the Congress media department. Vaibhav, why don't you just give us a sense of how it's actually designed? Yeah. Because there's a sense that these are high-end luxury accommodation. So let's see what is the reality.
Bedded ones containers.
Okay.
This wherein you are standing, this is a
two-bedded
container.
Okay.
Wherein two people share this container, and it has.
So this is one bed, another bed.
Yeah.
And this has an attached toilet. Let's see. And do most containers have a toilet, or this is
No. Most containers don't have a toilet. So the campsite is divided into 3 zones.
Right.
Which is a green zone and a pink zone and a blue zone.
Okay.
So the green zone ones are the ones wherein most of the Bharat Yatris stay. It has 12 beds and it doesn't have a toilet.
Okay.
And the toilets are outside, it's sharing toilets.
Okay.
And the 4-bedded ones are where mostly the women Yatris stay. It has, some of them have attached toilets, a few of them doesn't have, so they have a separate section wherein the common toilet is also parked nearby to the container.
Okay.
So even if they have to go in the middle of the night, they can use it.
Right, so the 12-bedded one is actually the typical where most stay. So let's go have a look at that.
I'll show you that, yeah.
This is the laundry area, one pair every day of
And
clothes.
you get it on the 3rd day.
Oh, you get on the 3rd day?
Yeah, because there are so many people, no?
The 12-bedded container.
Traveled in a train.
Yeah.
This will give you that feel, and the Yatris have less space,
Right.
but just the space to sleep.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 there, 4 here, 4 here. And they have to use these railings to get up. And we have Yatris in the age band of 50 also,
who have to somehow fit themselves in here.
Yes.
It may not be VIP living, but this whole exercise, Vaibhav, surely pulling this off, does come with a high cost. Who is paying the bill for this?
The Congress party is paying the bill for this.
Okay.
Yes, maybe the party is paid for all of this.
And what's the total bill for the whole thing? The trucks, the container, everything.
See, it's an ongoing expense. The whole Yatra's expense. Every day a new village has to be set up. Every day there's diesel that needs to be filled with.
So what? Yeah. But what is the number?
There's employees. The team size that is managing this is 170 people.
Right.
Who are doing this. And again, 2 campsites are set up in advance. So we don't have a number to give you right now because it's a growing number.
On the ground in the Yatra, we also get to see the Congress's media apparatus that they put together to cover the Yatra. There is this van, which is a uplink live unit, which is continuously live streaming the Yatra onto the Congress's social media platforms. They also are the ones that operate the drones that you'll see that have given the images that have become emblematic of the Yatra. And it's also part of the media offensive of the Congress party, which claims that this is a way to bypass the fact that the mainstream media for a large part has ignored the Yatra and allows them to create their own narrative. To further boost its media presence, the Congress has hired a Mumbai-based production house called Teen Bandar, said to be behind much of the slickly produced videos flooding social media.
What do you want to drink?
We want Sharjah Sheikh. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I'm your brother. Okay.
The media management does mean that it isn't easy for journalists to access Rahul Gandhi. Rahul does give the odd press conference once in a while.
Difficulty that farmers are facing.
But trying to interview him while along the Yatra route is next to impossible. Rahul Gandhi is coming up. Let's see if we can try and speak to him. So far, he's not really spoken to the media as such. But as he approaches, let's just try to see if Rahul will speak to us. Rahul! Rahul! The Congress has also managed to rope in key political allies like the Shiv Sena's Aditya Thackeray and the NCP's Supriya Sule, who first walked and then even appeared alongside Rahul Gandhi at a rally in Nanded. But can the Yatra fix the deeper structural problems of the Congress, which are spilling over into the Yatra, like the worries over the exodus of leaders? Take Nanded, the bastion of former Chief Minister Ashok Chavan, MLA from Nanded district and the host of this leg of the Yatra. This is your area, Nanded. What all arrangements did you have to make for the Yatra?
Nothing very special. We have accommodation which is normal Mangal Karyalayas where we have marriages and all that. So nothing very special about it. His own camp he has set up. So there's nothing special about any arrangements being made.
Chavan has spent a good part of his time fielding questions on rumours that he's joining the BJP after he met Deputy Chief Minister and BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis. But why is there this constant reports then that you are drifting towards
Rumours
BJP?
are rumours, they are not to be believed.
But you did meet Devendra Fadnavis?
I meet him several times.
Achha.
I have been meeting not only Devendra Fadnavis, I have been meeting Eknath Shinde also. We have been in the cabinet as a representative of the people of this constituency. We have got several works. So they used to meet me when I was.
So you're with Congress fully?
Definitely. What, you have any doubts about it now?
No. So no question of BJP?
There's no question. You see, I am here right in the midst of the Yatra and things are moving on.
Moreover, harder political realities are sinking in. The Congress now says Rahul Gandhi might take a break from the Yatra to go to Gujarat to campaign.
All leaders are going. For example, I'm going to Gujarat on 16th and 17th.
Okay.
But the fact remains.
Rahul is not going though. Or is he?
He may go.
Oh, he may go to Gujarat?
He may go.
Okay.
It's still open. But why not a digital rally from where we are?
In December, when the Gujarat Himachal results roll in, the Yatra would have entered the Hindi heartland, where the Congress faces its steepest challenge. A poor performance may once again call into question Rahul's credentials as a serious leader. For now, Rahul seems unconcerned, walking, sometimes even running, on a Yatra, the outcome of which remains uncertain.
On match off रुकावट के लिए खेद है meeting on a game off.
What's going on? Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में हर पल. पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
One thing that's clear, our world is changing forever.
NDTV, rail news by rail journalists.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, news that informs and inspires.
Facts build stories, but opinions shape them. And we are here to bring you both.
A 360-degree look at the day's top stories. We are not afraid to take a stand.
No agendas, no excuses, no whataboutery, and no obfuscation.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
The show where the country speaks its mind.
This is a first step in the direction of giving women at least a fighting chance.
This is all wishful thinking. Today also you see 23% of our girls are married off before 18.
Your mirror to what India thinks.
Everybody had that second thought, how could you be in fashion because you don't look like a person in fashion? And that for me needed to change.
We the People with me, Sarah Jacob, only on NDTV. If you care about it, we'll talk about it.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies.
Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching.
News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Legacy is often seen as a burden of expectations. It comes with its own set of challenges. The challenge to take it forward, challenge to reimagine, challenge to be in the present, and also challenge to think about the future.
What accountability are you talking about?
As long as the core values and principles remain uncompromised. Debates are essential not just for journalism, but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 22 years old, but it is young at 22.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
सच दिखाते हैं ताकि दुनिया के बाजार में आजादी सस्ती न बिक जाए. कुर्सी पे बैठने वालों को जमीन की अहमियत याद रहे. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि पैसे की चमक से कभी हुनर ना पड़े फीका. खुदगर्जी खोखला न बना दे सोचने का तरीका. सच दिखाते हैं हम ताकि अच्छे विचार और आदर्श बस किताबी बातें ना रह जाएं.
चुनौतियां काफी ज्यादा हैं, बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं.
एक बेहतर कल चाहते हैं हम, इसलिए सच दिखाते हैं हम. NDTV इंडिया, जुबान पे सच, दिल में इंडिया.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient.
Voting for the high-stakes battle in Himachal ends. The BJP aims for a second term. The Congress eyes a comeback. Will the Himalayan states revenge a tradition of voting against the incumbent be broken? Results out on the 8th of December. A day after the Supreme Court's ruling, Nalini Sriharan, convicted in the assassination case of the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, is released from jail after 31 years. It's a new lease of life, says Sriharan on her release. In Telangana, the Prime Minister hits out at the ruling TRS, and the Chief Minister says people of the state are angry with family politics, nepotism and scams. The Chief Minister, Chandrasekhar Rao, skips receiving the PM once again. The Gujarat riots, convict's daughter gets a BJP ticket to fight the Gujarat polls. Naroda Patia riots case convict Manoj Kokrani's daughter Payal will fight in Gujarat in the elections on a BJP ticket. The Congress says only this is to be expected of the BJP. And in an all-party meet chaired by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, the DMK rejects the 10% EWS reservation cleared by the Supreme Court, says they will challenge the verdict legally. Chief Minister Stalin slams the quota as a joke. The AIA, DMK and the BJP boycott the meet. The Trinamool distances itself from the TMC minister's shocking comments on the appearance of the President of India. The BJP calls for a statewide protest. Amit Malviya adds to this by now making references to the Bengal Chief Minister's appearance. And Sachin Tendulkar has his say on India's heartbreaking performance. Let's not judge Team India by this. A day after the Supreme Court ordered the freeing of 6 remaining life-term convicts in the 1991 former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, after 31 years in jail, 5 of them, Nalini Sriharan, her husband Murugan, and Santhan Robert Payas and Jayakumar, were formally released from Tamil Nadu jails on Saturday evening. It's a new lease of life for me and my family, Nalini said, who was on parole this morning and visited a local police station to mark her mandatory attendance. After completing the formalities at the special prison for women in Vellore, she was released and went to the central prison from where her husband was released. Murugan and Santhan are both Sri Lankan nationals, and so they've been taken in a police vehicle to a refugee camp in the state. Former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated on the night of the 21st of May 1991 at Sri Perumbudur in Tamil Nadu by a woman suicide bomber at a poll rally.
In case she is breathing freedom after 31 years. Thank you very much for your time. How does it feel to be out of jail after 31 years?
Not very happy.
Because?
My husband is not with me, even after 32 years.
She has been sent to a separate camp.
To special camp Tiruchi. I saw him going there, so I couldn't take it. So I felt very bad, and my freedom, everything got shattered because of that.
What is your family's plan now?
My family wants me to join with my husband and my daughter. So I'm also planning that way only. And my daughter is also planning that way. She wants us to be with her forever.
Some are critical about your release, that the court has released you, saying that the country lost a former prime minister and also many other people who lost their lives in that bomb blast. What is your message to those people?
I'm very sorry for them. That's what I can tell just now. We have spent so many years thinking about it, and we are sorry.
In the year 2000, it was Miss Sonia Gandhi's intervention that got your death sentence commuted to life first, and later Priyanka met you. Do you think at some point you would want to meet them?
I don't think so. They'll meet me, and I think the time has passed for them to see me or me to meet them. I don't think so it will happen.
Any message for Rajiv Gandhi's family or the family members who lost their lives in that bomb blast?
Yeah, very sorry for them, and they have lost their dear ones. I hope they will come out of that tragedy once for all, anytime.
Is this a new beginning for you?
Definitely. After 32 years, I have nothing now. I have to start afresh.
On your role in the case, what would you tell people?
My role? God, I'm not supposed to talk about it at all. So, don't have any role there.
And you plan to meet your daughter and settle in the UK now?
Yes. I and my husband and my papa.
Thank you so much for your time. And that was Nalini Sriharan, one of the convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, who has been set free by the Supreme Court after 31 years behind bars. In Vellore, with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
And polling wound up in the high-stakes battle in Himachal Pradesh on Saturday. The BJP is now eyeing a historic second consecutive term, and they're banking on Prime Minister Modi, insisting that continuity is key to development. The Congress, though, says that local elections are on local issues. So will the BJP succumb to the Himalayan states' rivaj or the tradition of changing the government every 5 years, voting against the incumbent? The answer lies with the voters in Himachal Pradesh, who recorded a turnout of 66% on polling day on Saturday.
Braving snow and difficult conditions, voting in Lahaul and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Equally enthusiastic were the polling officials. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur, who is appealing to people to break the norm and not vote for a change, visited a temple in the morning.
The rival factor निश्चित रूप से थोड़ा बहुत रहता है, लेकिन अब की बार मैं देख रहा हूँ कि इम्पैक्ट नहीं उसका। कारण उसका यह है कि कैंपेन फोकस थी। डबल इंजन की सरकार, फिर से भाजपा की सरकार, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और सारी चीजें जिस प्रकार से आगे बढ़ी हैं, तो उस तरफ ध्यान लोगों का गया नहीं। अंततः तो आज जब वोटिंग वाले दिन भी मैं देखूंगा, मुझे ये दिख रहा है कि लोग जब वोट डालने के लिए जाएंगे तो सामने नरेंद्र मोदी जी, सामने कमल का फूल, डबल इंजन की सरकार, यही चीज होगी देखना।
After the death of six-time Chief Minister Vidarbha Singh, Pratibha Singh, who is leading the Congress in Himachal Pradesh, is confident that Congress's bold promises will convince people.
When we went into the field, obviously without Veerbhadra Singh's face, without him not being there, it was a very, very difficult task for us also. But with times, everything settled down and people accepted that he's no more. But they look forward that it is his family, his legacy. They've done it earlier also. Now also we have hope that Congress will do the work and they will deliver whatever promises we have said. So that faith is there, and I feel that the common man will definitely vote for Congress this time.
Union Minister and MP from Hamirpur, Anurag Thakur, who got emotional many times in the campaign, arrived to vote with his father, Prem Kumar Dhumal.
That it is the Congress party who was in power in 2004 in centre as well as in state, who introduced the new pension scheme and rolled back the old pension scheme. So the onus is on the Congress party.
At Dhumal's stronghold and once a power centre, Hamirpur, also known as Veerbhumi, the Agnipath scheme and the old pension scheme for government employees, a huge chunk of the electorate here, are major poll issues.
The youth also actively participated in the Himachal elections and openly put forth their issues.
मेन है बेरोजगारी। जो यंगस्टर हैं हमारे, जो स्पोर्ट्स में भी अच्छे हैं, सब अच्छा है, लेकिन अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है उनके पास कि कोई ऐसी भर्ती में या कोई ऐसा कोई आर्मी में। आप
शिक्षा तो हमीरपुर पहले नंबर रहता है, शिक्षा की में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, शिक्षा के यहाँ पे सारे इंस्टीट्यूट मैक्सिमम हैं। बेरोजगार की है दिक्कत, बेरोजगारी ज़्यादा हो गई है, युवाओं में रोजगार नहीं है, भर्तियाँ नहीं हो रही हैं, सरकारी पोस्टें नहीं कर रही है, उसकी भी प्रॉब्लम हुई है।
Himachal elections are important for BJP and as well as Congress. For BJP, because this is home state of their party president JP Nadda. His prestige is on stake because rebels are blaming JP Nadda for their rebellion. And for Congress, because they've lost many elections. To go to Lok Sabha elections in 2024, if they win Himachal Pradesh, then their workers will have some confidence. And if they lose, then their morale is going to be low. In Himachal Pradesh with Vedant and Ashok Mahale, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
And it is election season, and day 2 of Prime Minister Modi's tour of 4 southern states was politically significant. The Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister declared indirectly that he would not be throwing his weight with other non-BJP parties as his interest, quote, was only in his state. In Telangana, the Chief Minister, though, once again skipped receiving the Prime Minister, who targeted KCR's family, accusing them of corruption and dynastic politics, and made light of alleged abuses hurled at him by the Chief Minister.
Narendra Modi gari nayakatvam. Narendra Modi gari nayakatvam.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi told party workers in Hyderabad that they should not mind abuses being hurled at him by the Telangana leadership, as he could turn abuse into strength to defeat opponents.
भांति भांति की गालियां देते हैं, सारी डिक्शनरी मोदी को गालियां देने के लिए उन्होंने खपा दी है। मेरी आपसे प्रार्थना है, ऐसी बातों से आप परेशान मत होना। उनके पास गालियों के सिवा देने के लिए बचा क्या है भाई?
The Prime Minister was referring to the barrage of comments made in recent months by Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao against the Prime Minister and the BJP. Yet again, KCR did not receive the Prime Minister. The BJP calls it protocol violation.
This is very unfortunate that the Chief Minister, like a child, makes such type of statement. It is a matter of pride for the people of Telangana, and it should be a matter of pride for the Honorable Chief Minister also, that Prime Minister is coming here to inaugurate some developmental projects. But he is trying to avoid. It is not the first time.
The PM also attacked KCR and his family, accusing them of corruption and nepotism.
तेलंगाना में भ्रष्टाचार और परिवाद के विरुद्ध जो जनाक्रोश है, जनता जनार्दन में जो गुस्सा है, नौजवानों में जो गुस्सा है, वो आज हिंदुस्तान देख रहा है.
In Andhra Pradesh, Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy announced in a public meeting that he had a special relationship with the Prime Minister and had no agenda other than his state, declaring indirectly that he was not interested in battles outside his state.
ప్రత్యేకంగా మీతో మా అనుబంధం పార్టీలకు రాజకీయాలకు అతీతం. మా రాష్ట్ర ప్రయోజనాలు తప్ప మాకు మరో ఎజెండా లేదు, ఉండదు, ఉండబోదు సార్.
On Friday, Janasena Party chief, actor politician Pawan Kalyan had met the Prime Minister. Recently, Pawan Kalyan was stopped from addressing public meetings in Vizag, and TDP leader Chandrababu Naidu had met him to express support.
సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత ఇదే కలవటం ప్రధానమంత్రి గారిని, ఇది చాలా ప్రత్యేక పరిస్థితిలో కలిసిన మీటింగ్ అది. ఈ మీటింగ్ వెనుక ఉన్న ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశం ప్రధానమంత్రి గారి ఆకాంక్ష కూడా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ బాగుండాలి, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ప్రజలు అభివృద్ధి చెందాలి.
A hectic two-day tour to 4 states, a series of foundation stones and development projects worth over 25,000 crore rupees dedicated to the nation, interspersed with political events and speeches that made it clear that South is now big on the BJP's political radar. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagaraju, Umar Sudhir, NDTV. And in the Gujarat elections, the Naroda Patia riot case convict, his daughter has been given a ticket by the BJP. His Manoj Kulkarni's daughter Payal will now fight in the Gujarat elections on a BJP ticket. Let's go across to my colleague Tanushree for more on this. So Tanushree, this certainly raised eyebrows as the BJP announced its list of candidates for the Gujarat elections. What are the reactions coming in on the ground, and what is the Congress and the opposition saying?
Well, as expected, all the opposition parties, including the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, have definitely picked it up. This was a big ammo for them. And looking at the Bharatiya Janata Party's choice of candidates, Payal Kulkarni, who is the daughter of one of Naroda Patia massacre convict, this is the second controversial person who has been nominated by the BJP, who has been fielded by the Bharatiya Janata Party. The first was the Godhra MLA, the 6-time Godhra MLA, who has been again fielded from the seat of Godhra by the BJP. Is the same person who called the convicts of Bilkis Bano Sanskari Brahmins. He was also part of the Godhra Advisory Committee that granted remission to the convicts. Now, the second person is definitely Payal Kulkarni. She is the daughter of one of Naroda Patia massacres convicts, and now her, her being fielded from the Bharatiya Janata Party from the Naroda seat has definitely given ammo to the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party is saying that this is not a big deal for the BJP, who is not following any electoral norms as far as the elections are concerned. They are all out to attack the BJP. On the other hand, we spoke to Mr. Gehlot, Ashok Gehlot, who is the Rajasthan Chief Minister and a veteran Congress leader. He also told us very categorically that ever since independence, BJP is the first party to topple the government with the help of horse trading. Even if they are fielding convicts, it's not going to be a big deal because they do not really care about the democracy. That's what Mr. Ashok Gehlot told us. In fact, he also said that we were talking all of their Congress's weak campaign in the state of Gujarat just ahead of the elections. He said, yes, I agree that Congress did give a weak campaign, but I have been covering rallies and we are getting full public support and we are quite confident of winning in the state of Gujarat just ahead of the elections. In fact, we have spoken Gujarat Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has spoken exclusively to NDTV on various topics. Listen into that chat.
ये इनकी कथनी में करने बहुत अंतर है। ये कहते कुछ है करते कुछ है, कोई नई बात नहीं है। ये तो गुजरात नहीं है, सब जगह ये राजनीति कर रहे हैं। आप उससे अंदाज लगा लीजिए, आज़ादी के बाद में पहली बार नया मॉडल आया है गवर्नमेंट को टोपल करने का। कर्नाटक, मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र और बाकी गोवा और ये तो है ही है, अरुणाचल प्रदेश भी है। तो आप बताइए, कंट्री में जो डेमोक्रेसी कमजोर कर रहे हैं लोग, वो बहुत बड़ा खतरा है। लोग समझ नहीं पा रहे अभी। ऐसा कभी आज तक नहीं हुआ कि गवर्नमेंट को हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग करके सरकार बदल दो आप। तो कैंडिडेट तो क्या है, तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं।
सर, कांग्रेस एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्टी है, इनका गढ़ भी कांग्रेस का गुजरात में अच्छा खासा रहा है, पर इस बार कहीं ना कहीं लग रहा है कि आप लोग बड़ा हल्का आम आदमी पार्टी को लीवे दे रहे हैं। कोई बहुत इंटेंस कैंपेनिंग भी नहीं हो रही है कांग्रेस की तरफ से।
देखिए, आम आदमी पार्टी जो है हिमाचल से तो गायब हो गई, अपना विड्रॉ कर लिया कैंपेन। आप बताइए कौन सी पार्टी ने आज तक कैंपेन किया, बहुत बड़े हाई प्रोफाइल पे किया, रोड शो किए केजरीवाल जी ने, उनकी टीम ने। कौन सी पार्टी देश के अंदर जिसने पूरा कैंपेन विड्रॉ कर लिया हो? ये आम आदमी पार्टी है। तो जो हिमाचल में कर सकती है वो कल गुजरात में कर सकती है।
नहीं, बट सर कांग्रेस का क्यों?
और ये रहस्य बना हुआ है, रहस्य बना हुआ कि क्यों किया वहां से विड्रॉ, क्यों कोई फायदा मिल रहा था बीजेपी को, क्या कारण था? नंबर एक, यहाँ पे भी विड्रॉ करने को आश्चर्य नहीं करना चाहिए। खूब प्रेस के माध्यम से इन्होंने फैला दिया अपना आप पार्टी। कुछ दम नहीं है। कांग्रेस निकल पड़ी है, 5 यात्राएं हुई है, बहुत शानदार यात्रा हुई है, 7 दिन की यात्रा हुई है। मैं खुद गया यात्रा के अंदर, अति उत्साह है कार्यकर्ताओं में और आम लोगों के अंदर भी। इसलिए आप दिमाग में रखें कि आने वाले चुनाव में सरकार कांग्रेस की बनेगी, दिमाग में रखो आप। बाकी जो ये आप पार्टी है, इनके नेता बताइए क्या क्या कह रहे हैं, आप देख रहे हो किस रूप में इनके आरोप लग रहे हैं, तो क्या डिस्टर्ब हो रहे हैं लोग, मतलब इनके जुमले बन गए हैं पार्टी में लोग। अब आपने खुद ने नोट किया होगा, अब पिछले 15 दिन से आप पार्टी जो पहले जिस रूप में आगे बढ़ रही थी, वो शांत क्यों हो गई है? वो कहाँ है नेता, समझ में नहीं आ रहा बात। तो आप समझ जाइएगा, कोई दम नहीं इनके अंदर। कांग्रेस दमखम के साथ उतर चुकी है, टिकट बट रहे हैं, हम लोग कामयाब होंगे।
We're going to go in for a short break. There's much more coming up on the other side. Don't go away.
Class on, match off. रुकावट के लिए खेद है. Meeting on, a game off.
What's going on? Switch to Airtel Extreme Fiber. Super fast speed. हर कोने में, हर पल. पूरी फैमिली के लिए.
Everybody's on.
As early as possible, the 9-judge bench should determine.
The court can say the judgment will apply prospectively.
There's no question of framing another question.
Fake currencies did not come back.
With great respect, no, it doesn't work that way.
To some extent, it's theoretical in nature, but let's look at the facts of the petitioner.
One thing that's clear, our world is changing forever.
NDTV, Rail News by Rail Journalists.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, news that informs and inspires.
Facts build stories, but opinions shape them, and we are here to bring you both.
A 360-degree look at the day's top stories. We are not afraid to take a stand.
No agendas, no excuses, no whataboutery, and no obfuscation.
Gadget 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadget 360, Gadgets Love. You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
The show where the country speaks its mind.
This is a first step in the direction of giving women at least a fighting chance.
This is all wishful thinking. Today also you see 23% of our girls are married off before 18.
Your mirror to what India thinks.
Everybody had that second thought, how could you be in fashion because you don't look like a person in fashion? And that for me needed to change.
We the People with me, Sarah Jacob, only on NDTV. If you care about it, we'll talk about it.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies.
Our lead story tonight. Big international story. India is closely watching it. Welcome back. Now, India's master blaster Sachin Tendulkar has had his say on India's heartbreaking loss.
I know that the semi-finals was really disappointing against England, and I'm in the same boat. We are all well-wishers of Indian cricket. Let us not judge our team only by this performance, because we have been world number one T20 side as well, and to get to that number one spot, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to play good cricket over a period of time, and that is what the team has done. By no means I'm trying to say that so these kind of performances are okay. Players also didn't want to go out and fail. Players also wanted to go out and win for the country. But every day it doesn't happen. In sport, these ups and downs are there. So I feel it cannot be, victory is ours and losses are theirs. We have to be in it together.
We have to be in it together. And on that note, I want to share some good news for the entire NDTV family. We're talking about a victory. NDTV Saurabh Shukla has received an award in journalism. He is the joint winner of the IPI India Award, and we couldn't be prouder.
No action. NDTV Saurabh Shukla has won the prestigious IPI India Award for Excellence in Journalism 2022 for reporting on alleged hate speeches by religious leaders in Haridwar. Saurabh Shukla led the NDTV investigation into the hate speeches made by right-wing leaders during a Dharm Sansad in Haridwar, leading to FIRs and the arrest of 4 right-wing leaders. The hate speeches targeted minorities. NDTV has won 4 International Press Institute Awards in a decade. NDTV's Srinivasan Jain and Mariam Alvi won the International Press Institute India Excellence in Journalism Award 2021. The award recognizes an investigation by the NDTV show Reality Check, exposing Uttar Pradesh's police's legally dubious love jihad case against interfaith couples. In 2019, NDTV won the IPI India Award for Excellence in Journalism for its coverage of the rape and murder of a young girl in Kathua and the aftermath, anchored by Nidhi Razdan.
That's the news at this hour. Bye-bye.